Hey everyone, welcome back to Quirk Chronicles. Today we're diving into an awesome story. What if Deku was reincarnated as a quirkless genius? Before we jump in, I just want to say a big shout out to my boy Chimera_Regarian for creating this masterpiece. His work is incredible, so check him out. Links are in the description. If you enjoy these stories, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to help the channel grow. Your support means the world and keeps me bringing you more amazing content. Alright, let's dive into it. I was in the middle of the war game and so far I was doing pretty well if I say so myself. So far I did get rid of Class 1B and some of 1A. Not to mention that I had Kirishima locked up in a cage. And the best part was that I was only 3 days in this whole exercise. I also was fighting Quirkless the whole time. They are just so stupid. No one prepared themselves for this war. They all thought since there was one guy going against 40 of them that I would lose. Oh, how wrong there were. Now it was time for the traitor to pay. It was currently 11 AM and I had around 4 hours to do the job. That's how long I had for splitting the heroes up and get that dumb bitch of a traitor out of the game. I decided it would be best to just casually enter the hero's headquarters in my villain suit. Was that a dumb idea? Probably. I am sure I will regret this later on. Or maybe not. I entered the entrance area, went to the vent system opening the hatch, and got in putting the lead back so that no one knows I am here. Venting is what I am calling this, since it is easier to get into the specific rooms and listen to them without being seen. This is your time to pay. They threw me into a goddamn interrogation thanks to you. No one believed me. They all gave up on me thanks to you. Now I will be the one to ruin your life. Karma is a bitch. Did you never heard of that one? Thinking that the heroes would have learned from their past experience, I was prepared to take down a large group at the time. It would be difficult, but it would be necessary. However, the dumbness of my friends astonishes me every time anew. As I made my way from each floor, I saw that they split up into teams of 2. That was perfect for me. I only needed to find the traitor and her partner. Who would have thought that? I found you and the other traitor patrolling together. Luck is definitely on my side since they are both patrolling on the last floor of the building. My escape route is set, the roof it is. I waited until both of them are below me with one of them exactly below me. Opening the hatch, I could see both of them looking at me dumbfounded. Too bad it was already too late. I jumped down, landing on one traitor besides my victim, who just so happened to be one of my closest friend Achiko. As my landing was cushioned, the person below me hit her head hard on the ground and went unconscious. Me? Oh my! Are you all right there, hero? I bent down and pocketed her face while still standing on top of the person. Achiko was watching me shocked. She still didn't move even when I stood up and closed the gap in between us. Now weaving a hand in front of her face, I asked innocently, me? Hello, anyone there? Earth to hero?
Hello, Oshako. Deku?
Me. Ah, great. I see the hero still can talk. Though who is Deku? Last time I checked I was called a villain and Usagi is my name, my dear hero. She snapped out of her daze by the mentioning of my villain alias. We were close. Too close for my comfort. Achiko tried to touch me using her quirk, but she was too slow. I jumped back, avoiding her hands. Me, too slow. Why don't you catch me first? Come on, a little rabbit chase is all I am asking for. I turned my back to her and began running to the staircase and out on the roof. She was following me close behind. Achiko. Deku. Usagi. Stop right there. Are we heroes really that dumb? It's not like when you are telling a villain to stop or surrender that they will do it. Why ask this then? Me? Let me think about it. Nope. That's no fun at all. That's boring. Where is the fun? She looked at me perplexed as I gave her my answer. We were both standing on the roof. No one was nearby, no other classmate, no hero. The signal jammer I had with me was on. Even if she wanted to ask for help, no one would have heard her. I went to the edge of the building and stood there. Achiko was looking at me nervously. It was painful obvious what I was planning to do, and if she wanted to be a hero, she needed to save me. Even for her cover to not blow up, she needed to save my life. However, I was never in any serious harm at all. I knew how to use the capture weapon to save my dump and sorry ass out of this situation. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the teacher's drone hovering some feet away from me. Aizawa. Problem child. Get away from the edge. Achiko. Deku? Don't go any further, please. Nezu. Midoriya, there is no need for you to sacrifice yourself. Me. All I am asking is for you to trust me, I said, looking at the camera away from Achiko. It was a message meant for Nezu, All Might, and Aizawa. This was not the only message I had. I wanted to tell Kaken something, and I would have given everything to see his reaction. Me? Kaken? If you hear me, then please know that I will take your advice. I tried it multiple times, but this is my first time so close on doing it. I hope it is what you really wanted me to do all these past couple of years. I never forgot your and All Might's words. With that, I opened my arms and looked at Achiko. Me? Save me? Yuraviti. And I let myself fall, gravity pulling on my body. It was kinda refreshing and calm, but at the same time a scary experience. All Might. No, Izuku, my boy. Don't. Too late. All Might, besides, I told you guys to trust me. One is for sure, I don't want to relive this ever again. And I mean ever. Sure, I jumped from a window, but I had at least some kind of rope. This is a free fall, and if Achiko don't jump after me, I am dead. Panic overtook my body as I couldn't see her jumping after me. Uravity was standing on the edge watching me fall. She was smirking at me. You have way too much fun there. Just wait. Karma is right behind you, and it has a name. It's called Usagi, and you will learn to fear that name. She was looking down, and I could see her smirk, but as soon as the drone came flying towards her face, that smirk quickly shifted into a fake panicked look. I knew it. She was one of the traitors, and the other one is still out. And I can't believe you are letting me die like this on camera. The fuck? I am sure the LOV will go after you for this. Ah. This will be great. Caught sarcasm caught. Why did I need to get involved with the LOV again at all? Oh right, because this stupid waste of space wanted to get revenge and take them down. How stupid can I be to take Bakugo's advice and place my fate into the hands of a traitor? Sigh. This is what I get for trying to mess with a villain in disguise. I was close to hitting the ground, and that was when I closed my eyes and just accepted it. The impact came really quickly, and I didn't feel anything at all. I could consider myself lucky for that, and before I knew it, I was out cold forever, and the last thing I saw was a traitor looking down at me and trying to act traumatized and shocked mixed with some fear and regret, but fails miserably and starts laughing. Karma really is something else. Aizawa's POV. I was patrolling the whole night until I found this boy on a roof. At first, I thought he was just relaxing on the roof since he was only laying there, but something made me stop and watch over him. My instincts were telling me that something was wrong, and I had a lot of red flags popping up in my head by just looking at the kid. The wind was picking up that night too, and it was carrying the smell of burned skin and blood. Although it was only faint, I could still pick it up. I was a pro hero long enough to know that something was wrong. What the kid did was something I wasn't prepared for at all. If he had only jumped as a normal person. But that wasn't the case. As I was approaching the greenette, he suddenly stood up and went to the edge of the roof. Me, kid. There was no use yelling or screaming at him not to do it, as he was already letting himself fall to the ground. Normally people would stop and stand still by the edge to collect their thoughts and get prepared, but not this kid. Me, shit. As quickly as I could, I ran towards the edge and shot my capture gear at him. I could only pray that I would make it in time. I was hoping to feel the familiar thug at the end of it, but nothing came. Instead, I could hear a loud thump. Running towards the edge, I could see the boy's body laying on the ground. If only I was faster. Seeing the boy on the ground, I could feel the anger inside me rise. It was my fault for not being fast enough and waited to see what he was doing. I should have known it better. The kid's body was laying on the ground, and since this was only a 4-story building, I had still a little hope left that he wouldn't die immediately. There were a few incidents where a kid survived such a fall. Knowing that, I jumped down from the building using my scarf to get down safely and immediately started running towards the kid body. Once I was in front of it, I began checking for a pulse, but there was nothing. Misai. He had his eyes closed and looked very happy. A smile was around his face. His body was completely covered in blood, and I could see some broken bones piercing through his skin. Me, why? As I was thinking that, I took out my phone. I after all needed to inform Tsukauchi about a dead body. There were a couple of reasons the kid could have jumped. I wonder if he has a note on him, since there were none on the roof. The kid jumped off the roof with his shoes still on, which was also very rare to see. People would often put their shoes neatly to the aid on the rooftop with a note below it. However, This kid had nothing with him and just jumped. I crouched down before the kid and started to search for a letter in his school uniform pockets, but I couldn't find one at all. Me sigh. I was very close to the kid and looking him from top to bottom again. The greenette looked like he was around 13 years old. The school uniform was the uniform from Aldred Junior High. I knew the school uniforms from a couple of schools since I lived in this area before I moved closer to UA. Me sigh. As I was sighing, I looked at the kid, and as I was thinking how sad and horrifying this whole scene was, the kid all of a sudden sat up with wide open eyes. It surprised me so much that I fell on my butt and looked at him. All I could manage was blink and blink at him again. Kid, shit. This seriously hurts. He was not dead. And the fact that he was dead a minute ago surprised me a lot. An immortality quirk? Or maybe regeneration. But why is he not healing then? It took me a couple of seconds to regain my composure again and go back to a crouching position. He still hasn't realized that I was there, meaning I needed to be careful and make him lay back down. I quickly took out my phone and texted Chio. I would have put him into a hospital if not for the fact that he was dead a minute ago. After I finished that, I touched his shoulder carefully and he snapped towards me. It's okay, kid. Help is on the way. Just lay down, problem child. Kid. Aizawa-sensei? If that is not concerning or creepy as fuck, then I don't know what is. This kid jumped in front of me. I couldn't save him, and then he dies and just bolts up alive again knowing my name. Not to mention that he was about to die again because of all the wounds he had. I ignored the fact that he knew my name for the moment and forced him to lay down again. I knew that Chio was on her way since that old lady couldn't just ignore my message saying I had a dying kid that jumped off a building and is somehow still alive. Thankfully, the kid let me lay him down and inspect his wounds as well as do some first aid on a couple of injuries. Kid. I saw the kid's focus shift from me to his surroundings. He started looking around and yet he was calm. Normally people start freaking out at this point. Kid? He was looking around until his gaze fixated on the building which he jumped from. Kid, wait. Where am I? What's your name, kid? He looked fairly calm to me even after what just happened. This made think that he might have lost parts of his memories. Kid. Why are you asking this? What's the last thing you remember then, kid? I needed a way to keep him awake as I could see the effect of the blood lose kick in. He was struggling to stay awake and I knew this. Luckily, I could hear some sirens and not soon after I heard them Tsukauchi as well as Chio came with an ambulance. Chio. Tsukauchi. Didn't you say he was dead? Yes, but he is somehow alive again. Chio. Get him into the nearest hospital quickly. I could see the healer use her quirk on him even though we both knew that it was risky. He could die at the worst case scenario. Seeing as he already dies and is about to die, this was nothing new. After that, we all went with the boy to the nearest hospital and I told them what happened. It didn't take long for them to take me to a hospital and I did lose conscious a couple of times in between, but in the end all I remember after waking up and scaring the shit of Aizawa that I woke up in front of the building that All Might once told me that it wasn't possible to be a hero at all. This didn't make sense to me since I was in a Civil War game after all. The whole time I was being carried away, healed or even carried into a hospital room, I could see Aizawa everywhere from the corner of my eye. Every single time I woke up in between I could see him looking at me with worried eyes. I was conscious multiple times for just a few minutes until I was out cold again. While I was unconscious, I began remembering everything that happened before I woke up and it didn't make any sense to me at all. There was no way I could have survived that jump at all. Meaning that if I died and woke up in my own body that was also dying, then that meant I somehow woke up into the body of a kid that tried to kill himself. The weird part was that this body felt as if it was my own. Not only that, but what a coincidence is it that a kid jumps from the same building I wanted to jump off. The chances of this happening were very slim to say the least. That made me come to only one conclusion. I woke up in a parallel dimension in my own body. Great. I just died because of my own stupidity and then wake up in my own body after after the Suzuku of this world jumped and offered himself to who knows what god. Just great. If that wasn't enough, I am in a completely other world. I wonder if I am Quirkless here too. What am I even thinking? This kid jumped off a motherfucking roof. Of course, he is Quirkless. What a Deku. Why did I just sound like Kakin? Did I just call him Kakin again? He's a freaking angry Pomeranian, a dandelion even. If he is a dick here to Ima, take the explosion from him and show it down his throat. Like seriously, doesn't he know how much third-degree burns hurt? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with me? Why am I even wasting some thoughts on that stupid dandelion? Ima blame the aftereffects of the meds they gave me for this. It's way too quiet. This is really bothering me and boring. I spend enough time laying in bed doing nothing and my eyes slowly began regaining control over my body. This was how I slowly woke up in an extremely white room. Yep, this is a hospital room. Hate them. Let's see if I can get out of here. I could hear some beeping. Looking at the source of it, I found myself attached to two machines. One for checking up my heart rate and another one that was attached to the oxygen mask. Why do I have a mask on and since when? I pulled the mask off my face and tried to detach myself from all the machines on me. However, before I could do so, I felt a hand on my hand that was ready to rip out the cable from the machines and a hobo looking at me. Aizawa, problem child, stop it. Me. Why am I in a hospital? The moment I saw Aizawa, I started remembering about what happened. I scared the living crap out of him. I can't believe I managed to scare Aizawa. Out of all people, I scared him. Wait, I also said his name. I don't think we even know each other in this world. This is bad. They can't find out that I died and my soul kinda got swept with this Izuku. How should I even explain that? I can't just be like, hi, my name is Izuku Midoriya Hero Dame Deku O, and I have a villain name too. It's Usagi. No, I am not a villain, and yes, it was Nezu's idea to bring the war game back. Oh, and did I mention that that is also the reason why I am here? I died in the game jumping from a building. Yeah, no. There is no chance I can do that. They would think I am crazy and put me in an asylum or something. Worst comes to worst, they might even put me into a laboratory. No thank you, I'll pass. Aizawa. Kid, you just survived jumping down of a building. Me. Aizawa. Sai kid, do you know who I am? Yeah, kinda. You are. I mean, you were my homeroom caterpillar. Better play it safe and admit that I am a huge hero fan. I hope this Aizu is at least. Oh boy, what a dilemma this would be if this me hates all the heroes. That would be bad. Aizawa. Kid? Me. Sorry, Eraserhead sir. I just can't believe a pro hero like you would be the first one I would see after you know. Aizawa. You called me Aizawa-sensei when you woke up. How do you know my name, kid? Me? IAHM. I'm kinda embarrassed to say this, but I am a huge fan of you, sir. The way you fight nearly Quirkless is so cool. This should be enough, right? Aizawa. How do you know about me? Oh right, he is a underground hero. You wouldn't know him that easy, I guess. Me? IHM saw this one video going around before it was taken of the net. Nice safe. He'll believe that, right? I mean, there was this one video of him. Aizawa. Huh. So you saw it. Me, yeah. Aizawa. What's your name, kid? Good question. Am I still Izuku Midoriya or someone else? I would say I am still me, but I am not sure about it. Aizawa. Kid? Seeing as I wasn't giving him any respond, he just looked at me softly. I knew that he wasn't showing any emotion, but you could kind of read his mood in his eyes, and right now he was pitying me. I hated it. I hated the look of pity so much. Me. I don't need your pity. After I said that, I turned my head the other way around in order to not see his face right now, or I would have for sure attacked him. Aizawa. Sai, what do you remember, kid? Me. How about jumping of a roof? The sensation of falling down? Aizawa. Besides that, me, you, and facts about other heroes. Aizawa. And? Me. What do you want to hear from me? I just jumped and should be dead, but I am alive. Do you know how hard it is to deal with that? Aizawa. Sigh, problem child. At some point, I turned my head around and looked at him furiously. Like, how do I know what he wanted to know from me? And it was not like I knew anything about this body's owner previously life. Aizawa. How about why did you jump? Me. I don't know. Sounded like fun? Aizawa. Fun? Me?
bnha.
I already said I don't know. If you ask me, I was stupid for jumping. It's not a way to escape life, it's not a good damn solution at all. So, you tell me, why did I jump? Aizawa. Sigh. Me. Did anyone tell you that you sigh too much? No, then let me gladly be the first one. Right after I said that, the door to the room opened and I could see a woman and present Mike at the doorframe. The woman came running inside the room the first time she saw me. Inko. Oh, my dear bunny. Are you okay? Bunny? What's up with her? Inko. Aizu, what's wrong, baby? Why are you not saying anything? The moment she came in, I froze completely. I couldn't help it but remember what happened in my previous past life. Flashback brought to you by a frozen-in-place bunny looking into the headlight and thinking his days are over. Mom! Please! What did you just say, you useless brat? I instantly regretted talking to her. I knew what would happen next and still couldn't believe that she would do something like that. She unlocked the door of my room in which we were and went straight out. I was relieved that I wouldn't feel more pain. 10 minutes later, she came in with a kitchen knife in her hand. Eyes wide open, I began to shiver hard. Mom! No, that woman is not my mom. She will kill me. I am scared. I don't want to die. She was watching me with amusement. I could tell she was having fun with this. I didn't know what I should do. Should I scream? Will she stop then? No, even if I wanted, I couldn't. I was frozen in place. Fear is written all over my face. Let's see how you like this. She instantly started to come closer to me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But my body failed me. I could only watch in horror what she is about to do next. She started cutting me slightly on my legs. Blood began dripping down my wounds, but that wouldn't stop her. She then began cutting me on my arms. I thought that it would hurt, but I couldn't feel anything anymore. Not even a flinch. It was like I was already dead. You useless brat. If only I did never give birth to you, then Hisashi would be here with me. We would have lived happily together. You are the reason he left me. You are pathetic. Why won't you scream, brat? I knew better than to answer her taunting. Huh? Why aren't you saying anything, stupid bastard? She then throws me on my bed, which is basically only a blanket on the floor, and starts cutting my back. With each cut, she would place more force on the blade so that each one is deeper. It hurt so bad. I could see little black dots. It became darker and darker each moment. Finally, I passed out. End of flashback, brought to you by a concerned coffee-addicted cat waving his paw in front of the bunny. It was only after I felt someone touch my forehead that I came back to myself. My mother was touching me. Her hand was on my forehead. Confused on what is going on, I could only blink. Inko, you don't seem to have a fever, so why are you so pale all of a sudden? My reaction, however, didn't go unnoticed by the heroes in the room. Mike. Ma'am. How about we get this little listener some snacks? I am sure you know what he likes better than I do. Inko, sure. What a good idea. Aizu, my baby bunny. I'll be right back. Okay? Me, sure. I watched my mother leave the room and was left in even more confusion. My mother never called me baby nor bunny. What is going on? But one thing is for sure. I am Izuku Midoriya, though this Aizu from this world died by jumping of a building. The question is, why would he do it? Why would someone jump if he had still someone that cared for him? Why? I didn't even jump even after all what I experienced. Aizawa. Kid? Me, I was brought back out of my thoughts by the pro-hero slightly touching and squeezing my shoulder. Aizawa. If this woman did anything to you, I can help you. Me, no. That wasn't it. Aizawa. You sure? Me, yeah. I could tell it in her eyes. This Inko Midoriya, my mom, was caring and she was concerned for my well-being. I never had someone being that caring or even concerned for me in my entire life before. Aizawa. What was it then, kid? Me? I was just surprised seeing her. Aizawa. Her? Me, my mom. Aizawa. Why? Oh great, I dug my own grave right now. How do I explain that she is not my mom but somehow is at the same time? Oh right, I can't. Me. I didn't think you would get her to come so soon. I am scared what mom will think about me when she hears that I tried to commit. How do I tell her that I don't even remember what happened or why I did that? Aizawa. I see. I am sure she will understand. Me? I don't know. I can't even remember my past that well. All I know is that she is my mother. How do I tell her that I can't remember her? Aizawa. Kid. What do you remember? Me. As I said, just some random fact about heroes and a couple of faces. The rest is... it's just Blanc. I think this should be enough to make him believe me. I mean, it is not a lie. I really don't know anything about this Aizu's past at all. Aizawa. I'll be right back, kid. Me, okay. With that, I watched the hero go out of the room, leaving me inside all alone to myself. The moment I was alone, I immediately went to check my body. I could feel every body part and I couldn't feel any pain. Though that I can't feel any pain wasn't surprising by my past, but that I couldn't feel any pain right now could only mean that I somehow did have my high pain tolerance too. However, I couldn't feel OFA, which meant that I was quirkless. Once I checked that nothing was wrong with me, I began relaxing a little bit again and laid back and started collecting my thoughts. Let's see what I know so far. I am Izuku Midoriya. I am quirkless. My mom is Ink Midoriya and she is a caring woman. I haven't met Aizawa yet. Does that mean I was never in UA? No, wait. Wrong. I am still not in UA because the exam still is about to happen. This roof is the proof for that. All might that pain in the ass of a symbol of peace destroyed my dreams and left me there. I must have jumped afterwards. This Aizu really was a weakling. Though Bunny. I like the nickname my mom has for me. That reminds me of Usagi. Wait, if I am not a hero in training, a UA student yet, that means I can somehow find a way to enter the school and become one. I still can be a hero with all the knowledge I have from my past life. I know the future to some extent after all. Question is only what is different here and what not. Guess I have to find this one out myself. While I am doing this, I should befriend UA's rat god. Oh, and I'll call myself Usagi and not Deku. I am after all a deadly bunny and not some kind of useless and weak kid.
Aizawa speove.
I went out of the room letting the kid alone. He looked very confused as to what is going on. I knew that what he just said to me or he was a pretty good action. However, the sheer fact that he was still alive was a mystery and a miracle on its own. I decided to trust his words. Zashi. Oh show, we are here. I went straight to look for my stupid husband that was only supposed to get something and come back but instead was sitting with the mother of this kid in the break room of the hospital. Misai. Zashi. Show. This is Inko Midoriya, the little listener's mother. Inko. Thank you for saving my son. I was just about to say that the kid died and kinda scared me to death just coming back to life like that. However, my dear husband was so nice as to stop me from telling the brutal truth. Zashi. Oh, there is nothing to thank him at all. This is after all what we pro-heroes do. Inko. Still, if there is anything I could do then please let me know. He is everything I still have. Me. In that case, can I ask you a couple of questions? Zashi. For goodness' sake, show this is not the time for this. Inko. Oh no, please go ahead. Me. Do you know why he was on a rooftop? Inko. No, but he would never just jump of a roof. There must be a misunderstanding. Zashi. I know it is hard to believe, miss, but there is nothing we can change about the fact now. Me. Does he have any quirk?
Inko. No.
He is born quirkless. I know how hard life is on him. Still, I never knew that he was that. The woman's voice was getting quieter and quieter with each passing word. I could tell that he was close to tearing up and there was nothing we could do. It was always hard to tell a parent that their kid tried to commit. I had a couple of them screaming at me how wrong I am. Seeing how the woman was dealing with this situation told me that she seriously didn't know about anything but was still worried about him. Me sigh. I guess ignorance is bliss. How couldn't she see that he was treated badly? I have a villainous quirk and was treated very bad. Now just imagine how hard someone must have had it being born quirkless. It must be the living hell. How can someone not see that? On top of that, he had a lot of bruises and burn marks on him too. Zashi. It's okay, Mississippi. I am sure he didn't want you to feel sad at all. Me, is he getting bullied? Inko. No, not that I know of. So, he really never told her anything at all. Question is, was he scared of her or did he not want it to make her worry? Inko. Why are you asking me this? I looked over to my husband thinking it would be best if he would say it instead of my saying how ignorant and blind this woman was. Zashi. We only wanted to know how he got the burns that the doctor told us about. Inko. Burns? Zashi. Yes. Inko. I don't know. Sabo, my poor baby. He must have gone through a lot. Me, ma'am. I asked him why he jumped and he said he didn't know it himself. In fact, he doesn't remember anything before he jumped besides a couple of facts.
Inko. Gaspo horrible.
I watched the mother immediately going to the kids' room with the snacks in her hand that they just bought. Me and my husband were left alone in the room for a moment. Zashi. So little listener doesn't remember? Me, either that or he is a really good actor. Zashi. You don't think he is? Me, yes. I am suspecting that much. Zashi. Show, that's horrible. Me. Did you see how he reacted when he saw his mother? Zashi. He was looking as if he just saw death itself. Me, exactly. Zashi. From what she told me, I don't think there is something wrong with her. Me. It might only be us overreacting, but something is wrong with that kid. Zashi. How about we visit the school or his home a couple of days later? Me, that would be a good idea. Zashi. Not a bother? Me. Sigh, I feel sorry for the kid. Zashi. Is that softness that I see? Me, sigh. Zashi. Ha ha ha, you really have a soft spot for this kid. Me, let's go back. Just like that, we went back to the room just to see a mother and son interaction that looked completely normal. Nothing was indicating any fear or anything. This was the complete opposite scene we just witnessed. Was he really only scared of what he would tell her? Or are they only putting an act on now? His eyes are telling me there is more, but I shouldn't pray any further for now. Kid, I am so sorry to have troubled and scared you. Eraserhead Sama. Zashi. Oh, the kid really recognizes you. Me, a hero fan. Inko. Oh, he knows every single hero there is. Don't you have these notebooks where you used to write stuff about them? Me, used to? I raised an eyebrow at that. There was no reason for a kid to stop doing what they liked, and the kid said clearly made the fact that he knew about heroes look like a hobby. Kid, I kinda never gave it up? Or at least I think I didn't. Inko. Don't tell me you are still holding on to that dream? Kid, me, what dream? Inko. Aizu, my dear little bunny. You told me you gave up on being a hero. The moment she said that, he began avoiding eye contact with us and looked down at his own blanked. Inko. Aizu-chan. It's not that I am against it, but you are quirkless. This is not something you can achieve at all. Me. Kid, you really wanted to be a hero. He was now even quieter, if that was even possible, than before. Zashi. Ah, that is so cute, but why isn't it possible? Inko, he is quirkless. It is too dangerous for him to be one. Kid, Mom, I did give up on it. I just think that collecting informations about them can strengthen my observing skills. You always told me to be careful, and just by having this skill I can successfully avoid dangerous situations. He looked at us and gave a huge smile. One thing was for sure. He knew how to use his words in order to stop making his mother worry. Inko, oh, I see. What a nice hobby then. Zashi. Oh, I know, why not try for the Gen Ed course of UA then? Inko, UA? Isn't that a hero school? Zashi, yes, but since he loves heroes so much, why not work in a hero agency and help heroes gather knowledge? Inko, you really think he could do something like this? Zashi, sure, why not? Inko, did you hear him, Aizu? Would that be something you are interested in? Kid, I don't know. Why not let time tell us what will happen? UA, why do I have a feeling that I will see him again? We then spend a little more time talking about UA, and the more we were talking about it, I started to think that the kid will for sure try for the hero course, and I was curious to see how he would do. There was nothing that could stop him from archiving his dreams. All he needed was some proper training with a couple of weapons, and he could be a brilliant hero. For example, place a gun in the kid's hand and teach him how to shot, and he could become like Snipe. Teach the kid how to build things, and he could become like Power Loader, since that guy doesn't even use his quirk in order to build support weapons. If his mind was as sharp as I think it was, he could even become a her like Nezu. It would be one heck of a hero that I think I wouldn't like Nezu to find or even get in his hands, but he could still be one. I was fighting Quirkless, but I was relying on my quirk to even the playground and make my opponents quirkless too. If the kid manages to find a way to even the playground, then he would be unstoppable. There was nothing that couldn't be possible. It only depended on the way one was viewing the situations. My mom needed to leave me after the heroes left. She stayed till the end of the visiting hours. They told her that I would need rest, and to be honest, I really did need the rest. I felt drained after thinking and analyzing what happened. Who would have thought that I actually ended up in a parallel dimension? Before I knew it, I fell asleep. The next day, I was kinda alone in my room. My mom told me she could only come over after her work, and I accepted the fact and thanked her. So this is how it felt to have a loving mother. I wonder how my previous life would have ended up different if my mother would have simply accepted me. There is no chance my mother would have accepted me, considering that I learned how to shot a gun because of her, or that I learned how to deal with knives and daggers, and it was not the fact that she wanted it so that I would be safe. More like for her safety and the safety of her so-called friends. Really, how could they even make a kid stand in front of a shop they robbed for lookout? Seriously? Like, what the heck is wrong with you guys? But I won't complain. Thanks to that, I now know how to shot better than Snipe. My observation skill are also top-notch. As I was thinking about my skills and my past life, I couldn't help it but imagine what would have been different. However, at the end I ended up with nothing. I was sure there was nothing that could have changed my mom's, no Inko's mind about a quirkless brat like me. Knock knock asterisk asterisk knock asterisk. Before I could even answer the door, it was thrown open and I could see All Might leaning against it, nearly breaking the door. All Might? I am here. No. Nope de nope. Oh boy, please just no. I don't need a bulky gorilla calling me his boy or anything. I swear if he starts calling me my boy, I don't care how injured or tired I am, I will attack him, and made him shut up. All I could do was look at the man that was still holding on to the poor door and raised an eyebrow at him. Not only that, but I started wondering of what material the door was made to just withstand a man leaning on it just to impose a kid. Finally, after an eternity or just 5 minutes, he decided to come in and close the door behind him. All Might, I am sorry to just intrude on you. Don't you dare say it, All Might. But after what happened yesterday, I felt bad just leaving you there. I shouldn't have done that, and after hearing what you did, no, just no. Don't finish that sentence. All Might, I am sorry, my boy, and you needed to say it. Before the hero could even react, I was out of the bed, jumped off it, and punched the man in the face before landing on the ground. Needless to say, that my fist connected with his cheek. After I did that, I turned around and went back to the bed. I knew it was a bad idea moving around this soon, since I immediately felt dizzy and stumbled to the ground. However, before I could even fall down, he caught me. All Might, I think I deserved this one. Me, you think? All Might, let me help you back to bed, my me. Don't you dare call me your boy. All Might, young man, better but still not good enough. All Might, I am sorry for what I said to you previously. I shouldn't have said that. Okay, I know what he said in my world, but this is a different world. He might have said something else. Besides, I just said I don't remember anything to my mom, the docs and the pros. I can't just drop that act now, can I? I just punched him. For seemingly no reason. I don't want to apologize to him. Why do I need to apologize to him? Why? I would rather apologize to AFO than him. Heck, I would even kiss AFO's feet than do this. Ark, damn it.
Me yam soru.
I don't know why I punched you just now. I hope you are all right. I'm really sorry. He put me back into my bed and even put the blanket on me. I was lucky that I had no 4 attached to myself besides something clip on my finger for the heart rate, and it wasn't hard attaching it back on me. All Might, young man, that was nothing, but I need to say your punch was a nice one and it had enough power too. Me, thanks? I can't believe the number 1 hero just said that to me. I began fake smiling at him and faking my cheerfulness when in reality I would have loved nothing else than to shower in designative lotion and vomit right here and right now over his feet. All Might, how are you feeling? Me, quite good besides a little bit dizzy. Can I ask you something? All Might, sure. Me, did we met before? All Might, me, I am sorry if I am rude or anything, but I don't remember anything besides a couple of names and faces. All Might, is that so? Me, yes. All Might, me. Did I say something wrong? All Might, no, young man. You see, I found you while you were being attacked by a slime villain and saved you. Me, you did? You mean slapped me until I was conscious and then tried to leave without even checking if I was all right? Did you even see the burn marks I had from that dandelion, or even though that you gave me a concussion because you literally threw me to the wall while you saved me, or that you slapped me awake? No? Well, what a fine hero you are. All Might, yes, and after that you hang onto my leg while I jumped into the air, leaving the site. Me, I did?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I don't even know why I did that. I hope I wasn't rude. Lie. I wanted to hear the words I so desperately thought you would say to me. Everyone can be a hero, even if that means someone was quirkless. This was the reason why I clung to your leg in the first place, because you didn't even want to hear me out. Then again, you are not saying everything what happened, only a short version. How about the fact that you basically told me to let go in midair? Did you even think what would have happened if I did? I would have painted the pavement in a nice red and made a huge splash. All Might, it's all right. We landed on a nearby roof, where you destroyed my dream, and I probably jumped, seeing as this was only yesterday. Me, do you know the reason why I did something that stupid? All Might, you wanted to ask me if a quirkless kid could be a hero, and I told you it wasn't possible and that you should dream something more realistic. Being a medic or police officer is quite the good job too, don't you think? Me, I see. All Might, But I was mistaken, and for that I am sorry. My dear friend a detective told me about you, and I also talked with him about what happened. He told me that there was nearly no job accepting a quirkless person. So, I am very sorry saying this. Me, are you trying to destroy my dream even more? The heck are you doing? All Might. I am sorry for what happened, and I wanted to tell you that. But after seeing how you moved and the way you were able to punch me without me even realizing it, I realized how wrong I was again. There might never been a quirkless hero before, but I am willing to train you. Me. Where there is a will, there is a path, huh? Are you pitying me? Is this why you are training me? Could it be that you intend to give me OFA at the end of it? I mean, I would prefer staying quirkless, but having a quirk as a backup is quite nice too. I made up my mind. I will prove to you that I have the heart at the right spot to be a hero and get you to transfer OFA on me. All Might. Exactly. That's the spirit. Don't give up on life, young man. I won't. It's too precious to throw away. I learned that the hard way. Me. Thank you, but you really don't have to do this out of pity. All Might. I am not doing this because I pity you, young man. You have potential, and I believe with enough training and a couple of support items you can also be a fine hero. Me, you really think to? All Might. Yes, me. Thank you, All Might. I'll come by tomorrow again. For now, I need to leave. Me, okay. Goodbye, Almiget, Seiya. And of I am. Just like that, the hero went out of my room and I was left alone thinking to myself. All Might's POV. I couldn't stay in the boys' room for long even if I wanted to. After what I did to him, I couldn't help but visit the kid. He jumped after all from the building I left him behind. Not only that, but he saw also my weak form. I don't know if I should be happy over his condition or not. He is alive, and that is the important fact. I am sure he will get the best medical support he needs. It's not as if a kid survives a jump every day. Does that mean he may have a healing quirk? Nah. I asked the staff there and they all told me the same. That he shouldn't be alive as a quirkless kid and that for some forsaken reason he was still alive. How can they even say that about a kid? In the evening of that day, I meet up with my old friend and Detective Tsukauchi. I told him what happened and the guy gave me a reality check. Not only was I once quirkless too, but I had a dream and no one crushed it. Back then the quirkless rate wasn't that low and people hated us too. However, now it was a whole different story. Tsukauchi told me about all the deaths of quirkless kids. Only 10% of the world's population are quirkless, and from these only 1% are not from the older generation. To top that off, 95% of the kids born this way don't even live as long and commit or were found dead on the street. I am sure he got a lot of hate from all the other people. Born quirkless wasn't ideal in my time, but hearing what Tsukauchi told me, the kid sure must have had it rough, and I pushed him over the edge. Now after he told me that, I had a bad feeling. I left the kid on a rooftop after all. So, I went back and found police officers closing the streets and a couple of ambulances. It wasn't hard to guess that the kid which dreams I destroyed jumped because of me. Still hoping that that wouldn't be the case, I asked a police officer what happened, and he told me that a kid jumped but was lucky to survive. This made my heart squeeze because of guilt. I felt very guilty. It was my fault. The number one hero's fault. I destroyed a life and a kid's smile forever. I need to make things right again. If I can help him finding his path in life, then I will do it. This was the reason I did everything to find out in which hospital he was in and visit him. To my surprise, he couldn't remember anything at all. The punch he, however, delivered came Quirk and surprised me. He was definitely skilled, I could tell that one. Tsukauchi, how did your visit go? I was currently meeting up with my friend and we both were eating outside. He was curious as how the kid was after what I did. Me, good considering what happened. Tsukauchi, good? I can't believe a kid that jumped would feel good the moment he waked up. Me, well, he did punch me but immediately collapsed afterward and apologized for it. Tsukauchi, punch you? Did you let him do that? Me, I would. I deserved it after all, but the punch came out of the blue and very fast. Tsukauchi, quirkless doesn't mean useless after all. The kid must have some serious skills. Me, yes. Tsukauchi, to be honest, I would have done a lot more if I was him. You basically destroyed his life. Me, I know. Tsukauchi, and the kid didn't scream at you? Me, no, just apologized. Tsukauchi, he must have some good self-control over himself. Me, that's not it. Tsukauchi, what do you mean? Me, he can't remember anything besides names and faces. He doesn't know what happened in his past. Tsukauchi, wow. The kid got lucky he still is alive. Yes. Tsukauchi, what will you do? Me? I'll support his dream. Tsukauchi, you sure you want to do this? Me, yes. Nana gave me a chance and I took it. She was willing enough to give me a quirkless kid back then the chance to go after my dreams. I destroyed his because I forgot what it meant to be quirkless. I forgot how it felt not having Ofa. He might even be a good successor. I'll watch over him for now. Me? I'll be training him for the UA entrance exam. It will be up to him if he wants to take the chance or not. Tsukauchi, that only seems right. To be honest, I don't get what people have against quirkless people at all. It's not like they can't be dangerous too. Give the kid a gun and show him how to shoot and I am sure he will take good care of himself. At the same time, if a person knows how to wield some weapons, they can get dangerous. It's not the quirk that makes them dangerous, it's the person itself. Me, what do you think I should teach the kid? Tsukauchi, why are you asking me? I am a detective, not a hero. Me, I know, but you are my friend and I value your opinion. Tsukauchi, you should ask yourself that. I can't give you an answer for that, my friend. Besides, I need to leave. You know I still have some late-night work to do. Me, I understand. I whacked how my friend left and I also went home. What should I teach a quirkless kid? Should I test him? Or maybe even see how he would act in a dire situation? I do need a successor after all, but is he worth it? I don't want a kid that has power and the sense of justice. I want someone with the heart of a hero who has no sense of danger. A person being able to just run and jump into action without them knowing. Their body should move on their own. The heart moving their body and their mind in sync. Me. Sigh, how hard can it be a successor to find? Should I perhaps go with Mirio, the kid knight I suggested? I left these thoughts alone as I went on thinking about something else. The kid was in the hospital and I witnessed firsthand how weak he is now. This meant that there was no chance that I could or would train them. Instead, I wanted to get to know the kid a little more. It would be hard since he doesn't remember a lot of things, but I still wanted to know what kind of person the kid was. It was something my heart wanted me to do. I wanted to protect the one life that nearly died because of me. If he really had died, then I wouldn't have known how I would have felt. It was sickening just thinking about it. My heart already felt heavy knowing what happened, but now I had the chance to make things right again. There was nothing that could stop me from putting the kid on the right track again and watching over him until I knew that he wouldn't try again. Me, I should bring the kid something nice to eat. Hospital food is the worst after all. I still couldn't believe that All Might was spending every day with me for 3 hours just talking. He was different, the All Might I knew. Not only that, my mom was also different. She was nice to me and even cared for me. This felt just nice, but the moment I was left alone in the hospital, I got the same treatment as I was used to. That hospital would have for sure killed me if it wasn't for All Might visiting me. I swear people are no better in this world than in the one I came from. I mean, what's wrong with them? People born quirkless are not useless. We can be as deadly as someone with a quirk. Give a man a gun and show him how to use it and you got a perfectly fine killer. Bastard, I heard the nurse say here. Useless waste of space, I heard the doctors say there, and the only reason I was hospitalized for a week was because All Might insisted and paid for it. My mom was very grateful for that, and as far as I could grasp the situation, she had a lot of work to do and was paid extremely little because she had me. I don't want her to spend a lot of money on me. It's so nice seeing her be so caring. This is honestly more than I deserve. I for sure need a way to pay him the money back, even though I am pretty sure he just feels guilty that he let me on the roof alone. Needless to say, I was so happy getting out of the hellhole they call hospital. They ran a couple of tests on me only to realize that they had no clue what was wrong with my memories. As a hospital, I would have sued every single of them because of quirk discrimination, but this was the world we live in and I grew up in. Mom. Bunny, you ready for school? Me, yeah. What a great start in this world. First, I scare a UA teacher and underground hero, which was great when I think about it. Then I go nearly telling them what I know from my past. I really should be careful not to tell anything about it. I mean, I do know a little bit of the future after all. As if me being hospitalized and dealing with everything wasn't enough, I also attacked All Might out of my hate for the one in my world. Just great. He isn't even like the other All Might at all. He was pretty nice and caring. Though I am pretty sure that it was only him feeling guilty, but still. He brought me some decent food. Now, after that crazy week and me just accepting the fact that I ended up in a parallel world, I need to go to school. Why? I hated that school. Can't I just fake being sick? I don't want to see that dandelion. I swear if he calls me Deku, I am gonna punch him in the face and break his nose. Mom, Aizu, me, HM? Mom, you just froze in place. Me. Oh sorry, I was just thinking. Mom. And you didn't even mumble. Me. Did I mumble before? Mom. Oh, you little bunny would go on a frequent mumbling spree and freeze up just like now. Me, oh that sounds bothering. Mom, oh no. It was quite entertaining listening to you even if I didn't understand most of it, but still I always tried keeping track with you. Me. Thanks Mom for doing that. Mom. Do you know your way to school, or do you want me to drive you there? Me, you work in the opposite direction so this isn't convenient. Besides you did show me the way yesterday so I'll be fine. Mom. Okay. Text me when you get back home. Me, I will. You can't expect me to do that. I won't be returning home this early. I will be going to that wasteland of a beach. It was such a beautiful sight when it was all cleaned up. Might as well do that. It was a good training after all. Might as well get some stuff for building some light grenades. As I was thinking that I went to school, and I could only say that I was lucky that no one bothered me at all, and I really haven't seen Kaken at all. However, the moment I went into the classroom, I was lucky to see that I was the first one there, but that wasn't for long. I went to my desk and laid there. To be honest, I didn't know if that was my seat or not, but there was only one way to find out. I laid there peacefully and just rested there until I felt the classroom fill up and could hear a lot of people chatting. In one moment, I was peacefully on my desk listening to what other people are saying, and in the next one I punched Bakugo because he grabbed me by the shoulder. Bakugo? The fuck you think you are doing, Deku? Me? I could ask you the same, dandelion. Bakugo? What did you just call me? Me? A huge angry-ass Pomeranian. You moron. I already punched him in his gut, but now I punched him right into his face and broke his nose by the feeling and the blood coming off it. My timing couldn't be any perfect because the moment I punched him, he went down and fall over another student behind him, and a teacher just saw everything. Teacher. Midoriya. Me, yes, that's my name. Teacher. To the principal's office now. Me. Yes, mister, I know everything. Like seriously, this was only self-defense. He didn't have to grab me by the shoulder. He also didn't have to scream Deku at me. Fine, I may or may not just went overboard, but welp, I can help it. I can't stand that guy acting all high and mighty when he has zero brains to begin with. Sure, he knows how to do a couple of things, but who the heck screams literally die at someone? Oh wait, that's the dandelion from my world. Meh. I bet all my money that this one is the same. The teacher went over to me and tried to grab me, but all I did was grab the teacher's wrist in self-defense and twisted it. However, I didn't stop there as I swooped him of the ground and just stepped over him. Me. I know my way around. Thank you very much. And just like that, I left the room and went to the principal's office, skipping and happily jumping away. I mean, I just punched Bakugo and called him a dandelion and a Pomeranian, and I got away without getting burned. It was something. Still, it was good to see that my childhood abuser was still the same, and I could reverse the roles this time and make his life hell every time he touches, calls, or even looks at me the wrong way. This felt great. Once I arrived at the principal's office, I knocked on the door and waited for the person to let me in. Gladly speaking, I didn't know if this person was the same from my old school or not, but I was done playing nice. I was me and no one could change that one. Knock, knock, knock. I wonder if this principal is a total idiot and a jerk. Well, only one way to find out. So, I went inside the office and was meet with a guy that I know way to fell. This was the guy that, in a previous life of mine, beat the living shit out of me until I was unconscious and let the security of the school throw me out into the rain and left me there until I woke up. All this for what? Something I didn't even do but was claimed to have done by a student and the teacher. If something like this happened here to then, I wouldn't just stand by and let him beat me at all. Me, I was told to come here. I wonder if he knows why I am here. Principal, what did you do this time, Midoriya? Wait a moment. This time, what does he think I did? Me punched Bakugo. It was as simple as that, and this time it was the truth. I did punch him, though I didn't start the fight, or maybe I did, but I felt threatened. Principal. You punched a student again? Hold on. Did he say again? Like again? Me again? Principal. We both know that you still remember what happened. Besides, I see you are finally coming straight with me and not giving me the I didn't do anything crap. I do, but not what this Izuku experienced, so no, I don't. Besides, I am pretty sure that this Izuku can't even harm a fly unless like a certain other killer rabbit. so I am sure he was false accused a lot. I do wonder who he punched though, or was accused to have punched. I don't think it is Bakugo. Me? Sir. By all due respect, I really don't remember anything. Principal. Talking back. Now are we? Me? No, sir. Principal. Seeing as this is not the first time you are leaving me with no other choice but suspension. Me? Sir, by all due respect, but Bakugo is hitting me on a daily basis, or I think he is, and you never punished him for that. Besides that, he just was about to use his quirk in public. This is not only against the rule but also against the law. Illegal quirk usage can get him in prison for a couple of years, not to mention quirk discrimination, which I would gladly put him in. He is dangerous and he shouldn't be left to be a hero. I mean, come on, he screams shine or die at everyone when he just went for an attack. First of it is pretty obviously, and seconds, don't you think that is a villain's job? No? Well, guess you just mixed up the terms villain and hero then. Oh wait, no. Just look at Endeavor, that bitch is a villain in my opinion too. Principal. There is no evidence about this.
No evidence.
So you knew about this and covered for him, huh? Now I understand. Well, let me threaten you then. Let's see how you like the new me. Me? No, then what about my medical report stating I had a lot of third-degree burns all over my body? Since my mother doesn't have a fire quirk and the only other explanation would be someone in my class did that to me, there is only one option and it is Bakugo. Principal, so what? A waste of space, like you shouldn't even be in this school. Me? Oh, a waste of space, huh? Then how about I report you for quirk discrimination? I might not be able to pull a lawsuit off if I go to the police, but if I go to All Might and tell him about this treatment, I am pretty sure he might be able to do something. By now, I am pretty sure you know how dangerous I can be. Principal, All Might? Ha 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 ha, he would never save a kid like you? Me. That might be right, but who is saving you? I took the chair beside me and decided to break it by throwing it to the ground and taking a leg and pin the principal to the wall. Me, useless and a waste of space, but don't you think I can be dangerous too? Me. Scared of me? I went over to him and freed him from the wall. The man wasn't able to use his quirk or even stand. He immediately slumped down to the floor and looked at me with wide eyes. Me? What? Cat got your tongue? You wanted to suspend me? Fine with me, but only for a week and no telling my mom about this. Do we have a deal? I can't make her worry about me even more. This is something I chose to do, and this is something I will go through. She doesn't need to know about the trouble I caused. She is too good of a mother. I don't deserve her and I know it. The man was so scared of me and nodded very fast. Me? Great. I dropped the Cheshire smile and gave him my usually warm smile. Before I went out of the room. Though it went pretty well. Suspension. Sounds nice. Now I have a little bit more free time and I can finally go to Dagoba Beach and exercise this weak body. I need to get back in from after all. With that in mind, I returned back to the class to grab my thing, but the moment I went back I was met with a right hawk which I dodged and let Bakugo trip. Me? Nice try, Dandelion. Bakugo. The fuck is wrong with you? Deku. Me. If you want to call me anything then it will be Usagi. Once again. I smiled at him, but this time I used the aura I learned from Stain and the Cheshire smile that could creep out anyone. Now a speechless Pomeranian, that is something else. Me. You all bark but no bite, huh? I took my thing and went out of the room. This was finally something I wanted to do for a year. I knew what it meant to be treated as a criminal and as nothing, so me returning the favor was only fair, right? Now remembering how I was treated, I remembered I still had the notebooks that got me in a lot of trouble and went back home. Once there I began looking through all of them before I decided to copy them one by one and write everything in code. A code that I was sure not even Nezu could encipher. It was for my own safety after all. This was how I spend the rest of the school day until it was time to meet with All Might. I told him I wanted to meet him at Dagoba Beach. Naturally, he didn't know why, and the reason was pretty simple. I knew that there were a couple of things in the sea and I couldn't get them out in my current state, but they needed to be put away. Not only that, but I needed some help with a couple of stuff, and I needed to tell him a couple of things about his own strategy which could help him stay in his buffed form a little longer. He was after all not using his buffed form efficient, and I wanted to help him out since he helped out my family a lot. I was at the beach before All Might was there and decided to start it without him, and so I began picking up small things since my body wasn't really strong at all. After I managed to successfully make some piles, depending if I found something metal or piece of technology which I could use, or even some plastic. This is really nice. Much better than school. I am kinda happy that the principal did suspend me for a week. I can't wait to see the beach clean again. It was such a nice view. Why are people so careless and throw their things away here? It did take me a while, and I didn't even realize that All Might was there in his skinny form. All Might, what are you doing here, my boy? Ha, since when are you here? Were you watching me the whole time? What time is it even? Judging from the sun, I think 3 or 4 hours just passed. Damn it. I forgot to meet up with him. Is this why he was watching over me? Oh, just cleaning the beach. It's beautiful if not for all this trash. It's such a pity. I knew that it was All Might in front of me, and yet I didn't let it show on my face that I knew that it was him. All Might, for how long were you doing this? I think for 3 or 4 hours now. All Might. This long? My boy, aren't you exhausted? No. The sheer idea of this beach getting its old beautiful look makes me super hyped. Beside, there is a lot of stuff that can be reused. All Might. Reused? Yeah. There are a lot of different technical things that may be broken, but they can be fixed, so I'll probably will try that later. All Might. Did you ever do something like this? No, but there is always a first. All of a sudden, he began to cough up some blood, and I went over to him. Are you okay? All Might, yes, it is just an illness I have. Sounds like it is something server. All Might, it is. Oh, that reminds me, why don't you sit down for a bit? I have a bottle of water with me. Do you think it might help your coughing fit? All Might, no thank you, my boy. I'll need to go. Well then, it was nice having a small chat with you. Just like that, he turned around and seemingly began to leave, though I knew that All Might would come back in his buffed form. However, I was already going into the water to gather something that just caught my eyes. I went into the water and began picking it up. That was until my foot was captured into something, and that something began dragging me into the ocean. It was so sudden that I let out a scream. There was no way I could get out of this, and I had no weapon at all, and whatever was around my foot was really tight. It was as if it was a trap, and I just triggered it. All Might, do not fear, for I am here. I heard his scream, and all I could do was roll my eyes. Seriously? Hello? Kid in danger. Come on. There is no one here you need to impose. I was quickly swooped off my feet, and it began dragging me into the ocean. Thankfully, All Might decided it was time to act and took me out of the water while also tearing whatever was around my leg. Now the thing was, my foot kinda got dropped into a fishing line, and there was a fish that had the other part. While fish was a nice name for naming a little shark. The moment All Might grabbed me and brought me to shore, he also saw the shark he was bringing with him and teared the fishing line apart. Thanks. All Might. No problem, but what were you doing there, my boy? You see that plastic pile in the water there? All Might, yes. I wanted to get it out, but you saw what happened. Oh, and I am sorry if I was late. I completely forgot to meet up with you. All Might, yes. My boy, you need to be more careful. Don't worry, something came up, and I only arrived seeing you get dragged into the water. I know that now. Thanks for your advice, though. All Might, how was school? Good. All Might. I am happy to hear that, my boy. Now shall we start training? Yep. What did you have in mind? All Might. I wanted to ask you if you knew how to handle a weapon. No. Yes. C4, grenades, explosives, knives, throwing knives, daggers, guns, scythes, axes. Basically, name me one weapon, and I probably already used it once. Though I love daggers. Why? All Might. I wanted to teach you how to use some, but I am unfortunately not able to do that since I don't know how to use them myself. So instead, why not focus on training your body for now? Sounds good. Just like that, we used the rest of the day to train, or more like clean the beach, until I needed to go home because my mom would come in an hour and I wanted to make dinner for us. I also invited All Might over, but he refused. It was no wonder for me since I knew that he had limited time in his buff form, but he thought I didn't know. I somehow managed to get away with a week of not going to school without anyone asking what the heck is wrong. Since I was one heck of an actor, my mom didn't find out about the beach or the school at all. Mom. Bunny, you ready? Mom. You know, before you know what happened, you never cooked in your entire life. But this is really heaven. The staff you make is really good. I wonder where you picked that up from. Your cooking, of course. It's the best, Mom. Oh, my little bunny, I am sure yours is by far better. Nope, you're imagining it. Oh, and I wanted to make some katsudon later. Can you get the ingredient for it? Mom, katsudon, your favorite. And yours, hehehe. Mom. So you noticed it. Of course. Last time you made it, you were smiling until it was done. Mom. Oh my, this is embarrassing now. Me, well, got to go. See ya, Mom. Oh bunny, I'll be late home today. Me, okay. Just like that, I went out of our home and decided I would exercise a little bit more and went on a fence and started running while balancing on it and jump off. It was just a little bit parkouring, but I knew how important agility was, and this was only a war-up since I wasn't able to train a lot more anymore. Once I was in front of the school building, I stopped and looked at it. A new day, a new adventure. Let's hope that the dandelion learned from his mistake. Though I would love to see the dandelion try and go against me. I went inside after taking a couple of breaths and erased my presence. Not only did I slip through everyone, but I also went into my class unnoticed, took my seat, and only then let go of my control over my presence. This was the moment I could see a couple of students look at me, but they didn't mind me at all. Good. At least some are not complete idiots. As I was sitting there, I could see Bakugo coming right to me, and for the first time I could see how much he was aware of me and how much he was actually looking out for himself. I was dangerous, and I am pretty sure I have managed to get that message through. Bakugo. The fuck were you last week, Deku? Me? Suspended for punching you. Why do you care, Bakugo? I could see how he literally had some goosebumps on his skin just from me using his name and not the annoying but cute nickname I gave him. It might also be because of the smile I was giving him. Bakugo, the fuck happened to you? Did you hit your head too hard when you hit the round or something? Me? What happened to me? How about you? Why are you even talking to me? Bakugo? IHM. Fuck Deku. Don't you fucking think you are better than me? He seemed irritated a lot after I managed to kind of throw him off guard and break his nose. Me? How is your nose? Bakugo? Fuck you. Me? Oh, I love you too, Dandelion. As if the whole conversation was over, he turned around and went back to his seat. It was so nice seeing everyone leaving me alone. Finally some peace. I can't believe all it took was a good punch to his face. I should have done that a lot earlier. Guess you learn from your past experience. The rest of the day, no one bothered me, not even the teachers, and for the first time I felt a lot better. I was not getting bullied since I showed them that I wasn't so helpless, nor was I about to let them do this to me. Besides, a nice lawsuit was always a good way to threaten people. Not only that, but if I learned one thing from the Chimera, then it was to never underestimate your opponent and gather as much blackmail material. In my case, I was about to gather as many as I could, starting with my teacher and the principal in case he wanted to pull some funny thing on me. After school, I went to the beach and did some exercises with all might. By now, I managed to clean a little bit of the beach as well as gather some money, which I in return asked All Might to donate it to an orphanage. He accepted my goodwill and did exactly that, though he did ask me why I wasn't donating it on my own. I only told him that they wouldn't accept anything from me if the money came from a Quirkless kid, and he immediately shut up. Days went on like this. Prepare breakfast for the best mom in the world. Go to school and do some parkouring on the way there. Survive school. Go to the beach and do more exercise there. Go home and make food for mom and myself. Gather as many information on every hero and police officer I could. You never know when I'll need it after all. I wonder if I could find something about Nezu. With that thought in my mind, I started to go on a search until I found tons of information about the experiments that were done on him. Needless to say, that I used a more, let's just say, ethical wrong way to gather all the information. Poor guy. Humanity really sucks. No wonder he got bored and made the Civil War game. At least there was a little bit fun. And I idiot died there. I swear jumping of a rooftop is not fun at all. This was how my school days passed, and thanks to the cleaning, I also managed to recreate my deer daggers and throwing knives with all the metal and other stuff I found. I even made some drones and sent it to spy on Nezu, though I was not sure if he already realized that he was being followed. Nezu's POV. I had the feeling as if I was being watched every single second, and I knew why. It did take me a while to find that drone, but I did, and to be honest, it was a masterpiece of a work. Whoever designed and built this drone had experience. Seeing how small it was. If I didn't saw it fly, I would have said that this one was just a normal insect. I did the most logical thing and a trap for the drone, but it was cleverer than I thought it would be since it did see it and avoided it. So I made a more complex trap and captured it. After that, I went to Power Loader with the small thing caged up in a glass dome-like thing. Power Loader. Nezu, what are you doing here? Nezu. I have quite the visitor today, and I hoped you could tell me more about it. Power Loader. IT? Nezu, yes. Have a look yourself. I put the glass dome on a nearby student desk, and he came over to me looking at it. Power Loader. Where did you find that? Me, it was following me around for quite some time. Power loader. What a genius idea, making something this small and this effective. Me, intriguing, isn't it? Power loader. Now what do you expect from me? Me. Can you see if you can backtrack the video feedback and also where this was made or who did this? Power loader. I can try. Me, that would be good. I then went on and took a seat while watching the hero manage to short-circuit the small drone and began working on it with a telescope since it was so small. It was fun to watch Power Loader suffer at the hand of such a drone, and I enjoyed the show with a teacup in my hand. After it was done, he went over to me and took another chair to sit in. Me. How was your surgery? Power Loader. In vain. There is absolutely nothing I can tell you about the drone. There is no ID or even a serial number on it. Whoever made this drone made sure that no one would be able to backtrack them. Me. I see, and the software? Power Loader. Locked. I can't access it at all. Power Loader. If you want that thing to blow up, sure. Me, blow up? Isn't that your job, or more like your student's job? Power Loader. It is more or less, and this drone was programmed to self-destruct if someone gets a hand on the source code. Me. How can you be so sure that I will be triggering it? Power Loader. Because I was unable to take the small C4 package inside its tail off. Me. Still, how can you be so sure? Power Loader. By all due respect, Nezu, but I know when I see something like this. If you don't believe me, go ahead and give it a try. Me. No thank you. The chances are very small of me destroying it, but if I did, then I wouldn't have it anymore. Power Loader. You want to keep it? Me, yes, as a reminder of a great person out there, and I will be going on a search for the manufacturer of this. Power Loader. Good luck, and if you do introduce them to me, I will. Just like that, I took the broken drone with me after Power Loader basically took it apart and then reassembled it back again. It wasn't working, but I thought that it was a great reminder for me that I needed to be careful too. Only because I was probably the most intelligent being on Earth doesn't mean that I was invincible or shouldn't be careful. Me. I wonder how many good things you managed to collect about me. I spend nearly each and every moment at the beach cleaning it and strengthening my body, as well as gaining some stamina. Not only that, but I also started going for a morning jog and parkouring before I make breakfast for us and after dinner. In the end, I was ready for the entrance exam. My mother didn't even know that I entered myself into the UA entrance exam, but what can I do? All Might. My boy, are you planning on entering UA? Me, yes. All Might. For which course did you sign up? Me, Hero course. All Might. I wish you good luck. Me, thanks. We both were at the beach chilling after I cleaned up the last piece. The exam was tomorrow and I was ready for it. Me. All Might, can I ask you something? All Might, sure. Me. Why did you want to train me? All Might. I thought it would be good for you. Me. All Might. I tell you what, let's celebrate this nice view and success. Food's on me. Me, cool. Just like that, we went back to the city and into a nice restaurant, which I wasn't sure if I was even allowed to go in, seeing as how everyone was dressed up nicely. Me, All Might. Is this really okay? All Might, yes, my boy. I followed him inside and we were soon led to a VIP area. We could still see everyone else, but we were now sitting a little bit further away than everyone else, and I could see how much everyone was looking at us, and I felt unconformable. All Might. How do you plan to get through the physical exam? Seeing as he wanted to bring my attention back to him and not our surrounding, I accepted and welcomed the change and took out 2 twin daggers. Me. I was working on these, and I also have the go from Nezu that I can use them. All Might. Daggers? Me, yes. I made them myself, and they are also not any daggers. They have a compartment that is filled with a tranquilizer. If I press this button here, the blade will be covered in it and I can knock out any opponent. Then there is this button that allows me to heat up this blade and cut through any metal. If I press the same button on the other one, it will cool down to -degrees in case I need a weapon against something hot. Oh, and both of them can electrocute my opponents too. I asked Nezu in an email if I could use them while making sure that no one would get hurt, and he said that he wouldn't mind since it would fall into the category of a support item. All Might, you really thought this through. Me, yep. All Might. Does he know about the weapon? Me. He only knows that it will be daggers, nothing more, nothing less. All Might. It might be a problem once he saw what they can do. Me, he would have asked if he was interested in them, wouldn't he? All Might. You are right, my boy. As we were talking about my plan and how much I was prepared for it, a gunshot could be heard, which made us both look at the opponent. Someone just entered the nice restaurant and was pointing the gun at everyone. This is a hostage situation. Anyone moves and I'll shoot. Before I knew it, I stood up and erased my presence while taking of the blade's cover and began walking straight to them before running. The opponents didn't see me, nor did they pay any attention. One guy had a gun pointed at the people sitting there, aka us, and then there were two on the door and one that was robbing the restaurant. I went to the first one and knocked him out with the back of my dagger before running to the other two on the door. Oh! Two, what the dash? They saw me, but neither of them could react as I dodged and sidestepped out of their field of vision and went behind their back, hitting a pressure point. The other one immediately starting shooting, and I jumped back and threw my blade at him, just slightly cutting him on the side of his neck. The guy immediately went down. Once I landed, I took the weapon that was laying on the ground and began taking it apart. I didn't want to leave them any chances that they would wake up and start shooting. The last guy was taken out by All Might, and I went and retrieved my dagger before putting them away again. All Might. My boy, this was very reckless of you. Me, but efficient, and no one was harmed. All Might. Why did you do this? Me, I couldn't help it. Before I knew it, I was running at them and you saw me. I had everything under control. All Might. I did, and I need to speak with you under four eyes. We waited for the police and gave them the villains and out statements before we both went somewhere more private. All Might. My boy, what you did was very brave, and I was searching for a successor for so long. I want you to be my successor. You see, my quirk is called One for All, and it is a quirk I wasn't born with but was given to. I know. Can we please skip this whole blah blah right to the point? You give it to me? Please, this is the same thing over again. I stopped listening to him until he asked me if I would accept it, and that was the moment I said yes. Oh boy, how I hated to swallow his hair again, but I couldn't just ask him for his blood, and so I went ahead and did what I already did once in my past life. Only this time I wasn't thinking of using his quirk at all, only as a backup. It was powerful, but I still preferred to fight Quirkless, but the speed it gave me was something I was sure I needed. After that, he basically explained to me how to use it by just saying I should clench my butt cheeks together and let go of the power, which by now I knew wasn't a good thing at all. Now I was prepared for everything that was about to happen, and if I saw the love, I would for sure change their beliefs too. I knew their past after all, and still wanted to give them another chance. It was not as if villains were born evil or anything, they were made, and these people suffered a lot. If I could be their hero, then I would be it. The one that jumps into the darkness to give them some light. The entrance exams were coming up, and I was sure to be prepared. I had Ofa, and I also had my daggers. I do wonder if this will be the same written exam or not. Today was the day of the entrance exam, and I was standing in front of the building, preparing myself to what will come next. I wanted to get in and show them all what I could accomplish. No one needed to tell me what a hero looks like or not. I knew I had it in me to be a great one, and this was how I made up my mind and went in. I was the first one there, and it wasn't surprising that I knew my way around since I went to this school once. Most secure place in the world. The heck? Who came up with this nonsense? I knew every inch of this place, every vent system, and every hidden passage. It was the thing I learned in case I needed it while involving the LOV into my plans for the Civil War. Once I entered the room, I immediately was met with a yellow cocoon-looking thing. Caterpillar this big? Wait, no. This is the homeroom caterpillar of Class 1A, aka Shota Aizawa. Not paying any more attention to it, I hid my presence and went to a seat. I knew that he needed sleep and that it wasn't a great idea to wake him up. My choice was one seat in the corner, the farthest away from the hero laying on the podium. Then I laid my head down on the table and waited for everyone to arrive in the room. It took another half an hour until every candidate was in the room. The once empty room was now full. My head was still laying on the table and I was listening to my surrounding when I heard someone explain the written exam to us. Looking up, I saw Mike and Eraserhead with Midnight in the room. Can we skip that like a YouTube ad? Please, I know the rules already. I began quickly analyzing the heroes before they began giving us the tests. Then I saw Bakugo. He was also in the same room. So, he really want to be a hero? Well, if you ask me, he is more like a villain, and I know one when I see them. Which hero is even going after villains screaming die? The answer is simple. None. But maybe he changed after what I did to him. I don't think that anyone ever fought him back or even managed to win a fight against him, and Quirkless on top of that. Once it began, I began completely focusing on my paper. What is this? Isn't this supposed to be some hard test that would make us sweat? I am disappointed, Nezu. This is so easy. And it's the same test. Does that mean that the physical part would be robots too? If so, does that mean that the LOV is real and that they will be attacking Class 1A because of All Might? Wait, does that mean he is a spectator too? As soon as I got the test, I began filling it out until I got to the last portion of the written exam. Make a quick analyzation of a hero of liking. Who should I choose? Oh, I know. The Caterpillar and Nezu. Hero name, Eraserhead, also known as the Erasure Hero. True name, Shota Aizawa. Quirk, Erasure. His quirk gives him the ability to nullify another person's quirk by looking at the user. The effects of this quirk can still last even if they are out of your sight. The quirk is very powerful but has some drawbacks, such as by blinking your quirk deactivates itself. User get bad dry eyes, which is forcing you to blink more often when he use his quirk continuously. Most mutant class quirks are immune to erasure. While activate, it makes his hair stand up, allowing the enemies to see when the quirk is active or not. It also has no offensive potential. He has keen observation and evaluation skills. Eraserhead can easily evaluate someone's personalities and their mental state. In battle, he used special goggles to prevent enemies from figuring out who he is currently looking at and keep them guessing. In addition to that, he also has an extreme pain tolerance. Now onto his scarf or capture weapon. He developed a unique fighting style that involves the scarf-like capture weapon. He is doing this by immobilizing his opponents, as well as using it for mobility, such as swinging objects around or even using to get from building to building. Even without the aid of his quirk, he has great hand-to-hand combat skills. I began smiling like the Cheshire Cat from ear to ear. Once I was done with Aizawa's portion, I went ahead and started writing Nezu's part 2. Hero name, Nezu. Name, Nezu. Experience number, SCP-0042. Quirk. High specs. It grants him a high level of intelligence that surpasses that of humans. Nezu's quirk enables him to live freely like a normal person, despite being an animal. Enhanced senses. As an animal, be it a dog, mouse, or bear aka chimera, Nezu has above average senses of hearing and smell. Tea brewing. Nezu enjoys a good cup of tea and knows how to make it. Industrial crane driving. Can use a giant wrecking ball to create chain reaction of destruction. I then started to write a little bit about him and the small information I gathered about SCP-0042. After I finished writing, all I wanted was to see the hero's face after reading this. How surprised will he be to see that someone could get their hand on such dangerous information about an underground hero or the most intelligent being on Earth. I mean, this is nothing new since I know them kinda on a personal level, and the crane did a troll on Mina and Denki in the first term final exam. It was so much fun to watch him go after them and create such a beautiful chaos. It was only 20 minutes after I got the test of 42 pages. Ha, funny 42. The answer to everything. I do wonder what would happen if I answered every question with 42. Better not risk it. Although I am sure Nezu would get the reference. I took the paper, stood up, and went to the front, still hiding my presence. None of the teachers realized me walking to them or standing next to one until I decided let my guard down and show my presence again. Me, a ham. I looked at the closest teacher and offered him the paper. Erasehead looked confused, and he looked at me and then to the seat where I was sitting moments ago. Present Mike was close to him and jumped after hearing my voice. Yeah, I was sitting there, I know. Can we go on now? Me finished it. Mike, you sure you don't want to look over it again? Little listener? I mean, you have more than 2.5 hours left. Me, already did that. I made my point clear and Eraserhead took my paper. After that, I left the room and began looking around the school. I knew that there was a backyard and a huge tree I loved to lay down under, and so I wanted to rest there. It didn't take me long to get there, and I could only think about Eraserhead's face. This was the second time I managed to get him by surprise now, and I also heard Mike scream. It was fun seeing his poker face break for a moment. I waited under the tree until it was time for the physical exam and went there. I was in the physical portion and in front of the fake city right now. There was no way I could be surprised at all, and since OFA was now mine and I knew how to regulate it, I made up my mind to use it in this exam. I knew that the rat chimera already found my little spider drone, and so I made up my mind to use my quirk. Since there was no chance of me telling him right away that I was the one sending the drone, which I probably did considering what I just wrote on the test. Still at this point I wanted to show everyone how a boy with a quirk could still fight Quirkless. The only thing I wanted to use OFA for was in case something like the 0-pointer would happen. Like this I went in line and waited for the go coming from Mike and instantly ran. However, I couldn't help but reply his yeah with my own yeah while running past him. Let the hunt begin. If this is the physical exam I know, then this time I'll be breaking the high score. Once in the city, I took out one of my daggers and activate the heat. The moment I saw the robot I knew exactly where which robot would stand and when the 0-pointer would appear. Just like that I started to cut down each and every robot while quickly dodging, jumping, or even running on rooftops. In short, I used all my skill in parkouring. This is too easy. Where is the 0-pointer? Where is? The moment I saw Uraraka I couldn't help but have a flashback. She was standing there and let me fall to the ground to my death while smile at me. Now is not the time, remembering that. The time is ticking, and maybe she isn't like this here. My mom is different and All Might is different too. How I wish to just throw her off a roof now. Stop thinking and more moving. It took me a couple of seconds to get back and start running again until I knew it was time for the 0-pointer. By now I had a lot of points and never used OFA even once. It was my own skill that got me this far and the daggers I had with me. They were really useful. I could electrocute the robots as well as cut through them. It was my best weapon and I loved them. The moment the 0-pointed came out I felt the earth shaking and I heard some screaming. Finally, here it is, the game changer. I began running towards it until I saw Uraraka being there and she was also under some debris. This meant that I needed to save her even if I would rather not. However, this was a test and I had no intention of failing it, and so I jumped down of the roof and made my way to her. Me. You okay? Uraraka. No, I am stuck. Me. Can you lift the debris up with your quirk? I can pull you out immediately. Uraraka. Okay. She then touched it and I immediately pulled her out while the robot was coming my way. Me, it looks sprained. Wait a minute. Me. Ida. I knew this wasn't something I should have done, but I still called out to the boy I didn't know in this world, and as on my command he came running to us. Ida. How did you? Me. No time for explanation now. Take her and bring her out. Ida. Understood. Me. And you look like your brother. Just like that I turned around and began running at the robot. This time I had both of my daggers in my hands. I waited for the robot to attack me and jumped to the side, sued my blade to stab it and let it throw me into the air. Once in the air, I prepared myself to land on the robot, but in midair, I used both daggers and threw them at the robot while activating the electricity on it. After the daggers hit the metal and cut through it, the electricity fried the robot's circuit board and it went down while I was kind of falling down now. Luckily for me, I was kind of saved by Uraraka, who touched me while Ida was running with her in his hand. Me. Thank you, Uraraka. No problem. You saved me after all. Once she let me down, I walked over to the robot and took my daggers out before going with them back to the entrance. The exam was over after all, and I was assured that I just managed to break the high score. While we walked back, I began explaining Tenya how I knew about him, since it wasn't really a secret that Inenuum had a brother. It slipped his lips once. Now putting this with the familiarity of their faces together, it wasn't hard to know that they were both siblings. As for the name, I told him that I found it somewhere and that I was a huge fan of his brother. After that we both started talking about his brother, and I couldn't help but notice that this Ida was different than my Ida as well as Uraraka. The Ida I know never would have trusted me that easily and would have criticized anyone instead of giving them compliments. As for the traitor, I would have managed to find her lies out, but she didn't lie at all, which made me believe that in this world there might not be any UA traitor at all. Once the test was done, I went back home and all I had to do was wait for the exam's result. It really didn't take me long to get a letter, but my mom took it before me. Mom. Bunny. Can you come here for a moment? Me, sure. I went out of my room and to my mom, who was in the living room. Me, you called? Mom. You mean summoned? Me. Ha ha ha. Mom. Anyways, you got a letter from UA. I didn't know you had signed up for it. Me. Oh, did I forget to tell you? Mom. Aizu, I am sorry if they didn't take you in. Me, what if they did? Mom. You can't be serious. Me. I am, and let's find out. I immediately ripped open the letter and took the disc that was a holographic message. Once it was open, it started displaying All Might and Nezu. All Might. My boy. I am here to tell you that you managed to get into UA. Not only did you succeed with flying color, but you also beat my high score. Nezu. I would like to speak to you in private the day prior to the school's start. I have sent you an entrance card for that. Just like that, everything was over and I was accepted. Me? I am in. I am in. I turned around and she immediately tackled me into a hug and I could hear her sobbing. Mom. Oh, Bunny. My dear little Bunny. I am so sorry I never believed in you. Me, it's okay. It's not realistic after all, but Mom. Will you let me go? Mom. Is there a way I could hold you back?
Me? No.
Mom. Then go ahead and enjoy your time there, just promise me that you won't get hurt. If you do, I'll take you out of there. Me? I promise. Just like that, I was allowed to go there, and the day before the school started I was in front of the school and made my way in with the entrance card. It was at that point that I realized that he never told me where we would meet or where his office was. Now I knew where it was, which wasn't a problem for me to get here, but it wouldn't be logical, and so I kinda just went to the entrance and inside. After that, I searched for a video camera and wrote a note since I always had a notebook with me. Where should I go? That was all I wrote on the paper, and I knew that the chimera was watching me as the speakers went off, and he directed me to his own office. Once inside, I immediately was led to the couch and had a cup of tea in my hands. Me. It's so nice to finally meet the head of this school, Nezu. It is also very intriguing to finally meet the person that sent this over. He places the small spider drone on the table and I began looking at it as I never saw it before. Me. Is that a... Huh. Is that even a thing? Nezu. You don't need to play dumb with me. Me. I am not. Nezu. Then how do you know my experiment name? Me. Found the information online. I do make it my business to know a lot since I was Quirkless before. Nezu. I already know. All Might did inform me about your situation as well did Aizawa. Me, Eraserhead did? Nezu, yes. He told me about how you suddenly woke up after you died. Me, luck I guess. Nezu. Or was it something else? Me. And that would be? Nezu. Only hypothetically, what if you were not you? Me. That doesn't make sense. Nezu, it really doesn't. Then there is this chance that you have a unique quirk that couldn't be found. Me. Don't you think I would know if I had such a quirk? Especially after getting bullied and beaten up nearly my whole life. Nezu. Then my first assumption seems only right. Me. That I am not me? What does that even mean? Nezu. I did a little bit of research and found out that your personality changed after you jumped. This made me think about multiverse and the possibility what would happen if two persons would die the same way and for some reason switched places. Me. So, I am me from another world? Nezu, exactly. Me. That doesn't make any sense.
Nezu. No?
But it would make sense how you knew Aizawa's name immediately or how you only know the names and faces from a couple of people as well as Ida's name. Oh shit, he knows. There is no way I could get out of this anymore. Me, what if I said yes only hypothetically? Nezu. Nothing, your place is secure and I would be happy listening to your story. Me, okay. Then what if I told you that I died in UA? Nezu. That seems very unlikely, but carry on. Me, what if you brought back the Civil War game and I was the villain in it as well as kinda throw myself off a rooftop from a fake city similar to the entrance exam city? Nezu. Do explain, why would you do that if you were in this situation? Me. Maybe in order to create a perfect trap for someone since they will need to help and save me? Nezu. But it didn't happen. Me, no. If I would do something like that, then I must have been stupid. Besides, the person would also laugh at me since they were traitors, and after what happened I was sure that something like this wouldn't happen just because I believed in their good part, which was wrong. Nezu. Sounds like my other me was very bored. Me, yep. Nezu. So you came back here even though you died here, why? Me, why not? I have a dream and a mission I want to accomplish. I didn't manage to do it back there, so I have another go in this world. Nezu. And what would that be? Me. I am sorry, but I can't tell you that or I would probably change the future. Nezu. Understandable, and Izuku, if I may use your name. Everything you tell me in this room stays in this room. Me, I know, thank you. Just like we continued talking, and as I thought the class I was in was the same class. I began fact-checking my memory's events with the real world's previous events, and it turned out that my memory and the things I experienced was nearly the same. Apparently, the people's attitude are different. I told him about the All Might I knew and he told me about this one, and that was how I knew about it. All in all, we spent the whole day together playing chess, drinking tea and also talking theoretically about my world up until now. I never told him anything about the future, only the Civil War game after he promised and signed a paper that he wouldn't do it. Since I knew what would happen on the first day of school, I decided to be the one that would call him out. This was how he came into the room, sneaking in, and I made eye contact with him. Me. Guys. Look, a caterpillar. I maybe shouldn't have said that, but he seriously doesn't look like a cat to me in his yellow sleeping bag. Bakugo. The fuck, Deku? Me what? Bakugo. How the fuck did you even get in? Me. You would like to know, huh? Bakugo. You want a fucking fight? Me. You want another broken nose? Or maybe should I pin you down so that your explosions can hurt yourself? Bakugo. The heck you will do, Deku. Me, Usagi. I stood up and my chair fell over while I was about to attack him, though I managed to hold myself back and went to the back, took my uniform and went to the front to the caterpillar. Me. I'll be waiting outside for the test you prepared. Just like that, I went out of the class, and the moment I did that, every single one's eyes followed me and saw Aizawa. Aizawa. Congratulations, it took you 8 seconds, and it would have taken you longer if not for him. No, everyone grab your things and meet me outside on ground beta. That was all I could hear while I was walking down the corridor to the changing room and went out. By the time I was out, Aizawa was already there. Aizawa? Problem child. Me, Eraserhead. Aizawa. You saw me enter and called me a caterpillar? Me. Can you blame me? Aizawa. Sigh. Me. I'll be quiet, and they will probably take another 15 to 20 minutes, which you can use to sleep. Aizawa. Kid. How have you been? Me, good. You? Aizawa, also good. Me. Aizawa. So you made it in. Does your mother know? Me. She found out the moment I got the letter. Aizawa. And? Me. She was shocked but accepted it. Aizawa, you trained a lot. Me, yep. Aizawa. Did you made the daggers on your own? Me, HM. Aizawa, you have talent, kid. Me, thanks. Aizawa. Sai, kid, are you been treated well at home? Me. Yes, and I can only consider that I am lucky that I have such a great mother. Aizawa. I see. Me. So you plan on making an assessment test? Aizawa. Did Nezu tell you? Me, kinda. Aizawa. He informed me that you might be different and that you will be allowed to have your daggers with you at all time. Kid, don't do anything stupid with them. Me, never intend to do that. Can I ask you something? Aizawa. Depends. Me. Can we fight each other? I want to know how much I managed to improve my agility. Aizawa. Sure. Just like that, we both went apart and then quickly charged at each other. He started use his quirk on me as well as having his scarf up in the air. Though the moment I saw the scarf, I dodged the first throw and grabbed it, junking Aizawa towards me, and then used that moment to vanish from his field of sight and go behind him. Then I swooped him off his feet and grabbed the scarf out of his hand and quickly wrap him up once before he landed on the ground. Me, I guess I win. Aizawa, well done. I quickly let go and helped him stand up. Aizawa. Who taught you to move like this? Me, no one. I watched a couple of fights and studied their moves. Aizawa. Good work, kid. Me. Thanks. Since there was still time left, we both started to talk about All Might, and I figured since he is my homeroom teacher, I might as well tell him about Ofa since he would also find out sooner or later. Me, I have a quirk now. Aizawa. Huh? Me. It's called Ofa, and All Might gave it to me after he chose me as a successor. Though the only reason he spends time with me was because I jumped because of him. Aizawa. Say what? Me. I wanted to inform you about this since you are in charge of us after all. Aizawa. Thanks, kid. Is there anything I need to know about it? Me. Drawback is that I can break my bones if I use it careless or at full power. My body can't take it for now. Aizawa. I understand. Me, well anyways, I'll do my best at the next couple of tests. Though you don't mind if I refuse to use it at some tests, right? I still want to rely on my own skill more than the quirks. Aizawa. I understand. After that, the people of my class started showing up, and I was only happy that no one asked why I did what I did and turned their focus on me instead of Aizawa. It didn't take long for everyone to get out. One of us students were there into our gym outfits. Sue, what are we doing out here? Ida. Shouldn't we be in the auditorium? Uraraka. Wasn't Nezu doing some kind of announcement? Aizawa. Shut up. All of you. He used his quirk for intimidation, which helped him against the rest of the class besides me. I was used to see him use it on me and knew how it felt too, so all I did was watch them and how they were digging their own grave for now. I knew exactly what they were doing and how Aizawa would react, but by now I also knew why he was so angry at us. Aizawa. Now, we here for a Quirk assessment test. Jiro. But were we not supposed to be in the auditorium and hear Nezu's speech? Aizawa. UA gives us teacher the ability to teach their lessons however we want. When I say we do a test, then we do one. If you don't want to pack your things and leave, the whole class began looking at each other unsure what to think of this. Aizawa. I see no one ready to leave yet. There will be 8 tests that I will be judging you by. I am sure everyone did them once in their life without their quirk, but you are here in UA now and training to be a hero. I want you to use your quirk on all of these exercises. Everything is allowed. Mina. Oh, that sounds like fun. Me fun?
Mina. Yeah.
Me. Is this some kind of game for you? Denki. Huh? Me. Are quirks a game for you guys? Kirishima. Bro, calm down. Bakugo. As expected from a Deku that never had a quirk. Me. Sure. How about I show your damn quirk up your ass? Does your quirk help you from preventing me doing this? No. Does it help you recover from a fatal wound? No. The why the heck are you talking Danlian? Uraraka. This is only an exercise. Me. One that should prepare us for our future. You want to be heroes, then you should be prepared for everything or you could easily lose your life. Ida. I understand what you are talking about, Midoriya, but don't you think this is a little bit much? Me. A little bit much. If you think life is a game, then leave. If you think that being a hero is a game, then open your good damn eyes. They risk their life on a daily basis. Is that fun to you?
Mina. No.
But we are not risking our life here. Me, you sure? Then how about we fight and I show you how weak you are by relying on your quirk alone. Kaminari. Bro, calm down. Bakugo. Stop fucking around with him. If you are that dumb, you fucking extra, then leave. You don't deserve to be here. Me. Oh, so you do remember how it feels to be beaten quirkless. Bakugo. As if you beat me, Deku. Me. It's Usagi. I began walking towards him with the deadly aura up in the air and started only to dash at him the moment he blinked at me once and immediately was in front of him. He immediately froze and I could hear a sight behind me before I let go of him. Aizawa. If this is so much fun for you, then let's make this more fun. Shall we? The person that I ranked as last will be expelled immediately. Mineta. You can't do that, Aizawa. I can and I will. The moment I heard him say that, I let go of Mineta and decided to level up the stage a little bit more. Me, why not make a one-on-one fight if you think you are that better? Mineta. What? Beating you? No way. Me, how about our teacher? Mineta. Are you mad? He is a pro, there is no chance I could do that. Me. But you are confident that you would make it? Mineta, of course. Me, okay, how about this then? I know that all our teacher wants is to make us work with 100%. If you lose, you will pack your things on your own and leave. If I place first, you will go on your own, but I place below you, I'll leave. Mineta. Deal, Aizawa. Now that I have your attention, first up is the ball throw. I will explain this only once, so listen up. Everyone was giving him their full attention, seeing as everything was possible and that he might really throw someone out if they rank last on this test. Aizawa. I am sure everyone has thrown a ball in their lives at some point, but this time I want you to throw as far as possible. Everything is allowed. Sounds simple enough. I could use OFA, but why should I do that? I would only show them that my so-called quirklessness was a lie. Then again, he said everything is allowed. I might also see what the others do and copy them. Not originally, but it works. Besides that, this is a fine chance to observe everyone and see if they are still the ones I know or if they are different as well or still the same. By now, I am sure Uraraka isn't a traitor here, but what about Mina? I do wonder if they never actually meet the LOV or if they just never came into a situation that would make them vulnerable. I know that Uraraka was only a traitor because her family need the money the LOV offered and Mina thought she doesn't fit with anyone. She was bullied, but still she does seem to be actually good body with Denki. I watched everyone use their quirk and one girl stood out from the rest of them. It was Uraraka, as it was a sight on its own seeing a ball float to infinity. If I would be able to guess, then I would say it was flying up to the sun and would get burned there. A gravity manipulating quirk. Still really cool and useful. Too bad that she was a traitor in my world. Maybe I could befriend her and the whole class in this one. We will need to function as one if the LOV really will go ahead and attack us. But for now, I need to focus on the test. I don't want to lose after all. This will be perfect tough. She seems like a nice person here and not like a bitch how I know her. I can ask her to help me out. With a plan forming in my head, I went towards the group of girls. Me, Uraraka Achiko, right? Uraraka. Yes. You are Midoriya, aren't you? Me, call me Aizu. Uraraka. Then call me Achiko. Me. Your quirk is so cool. Jiro. He is right. Uraraka. Thanks. Me, Infinity. I beat you, got the highest score here, so you 100% rib bit. Me. I bet the other guys are jealous right now. Right before I could talk with them further, Aizawa called my name up. Aizawa. Izuku Midoriya. Me. Well, see you guys. I went towards him, picked the ball up, and turned around towards Uraraka. Me. Achiko-chan, catch. I threw the ball very lightly towards her. It wasn't hard to catch it. Aizawa. Kid? Me. You said everything is allowed. I went towards Uraraka and was about to take the ball from her. Me. I am embarrassed to ask you this, but could you make it a little lighter? Please? Uraraka. Sure. She used her quirk on the ball and gave it back to me. I then went towards the throwing area and threw the ball. Aizawa, 1,000 meters. Next one. Aoyama. That isn't fair, Mon-ami. Mina. He used her quirk instead of his. Me, no, that is wrong. Aizawa said that everything is allowed and I asked her to make it lighter. Aoyama. How is that allowed? Aizawa. Izuku here is right. He did nothing against the rules I stated. Aoyama. This is cheating. Me. If you think so, then I shall use my quirk now. I was about to leave and go back to my spot, but now I was walking straight back to Aizawa and took the ball out of his hand. I then threw the ball as hard as I can, powering Ofa at 42%. Not only did the ball went ahead flying like nothing describable of this world, but it also broke the wall of sound and it made a boom. Me better? Aizawa. Infinity. Me, huh? I know I can throw it far, but not infinity. Aizawa. Kid, the ball went too fast for it to actually be able to keep track with it. Me, oh. I turned around and saw the other from my class down on the ground, laying there with their hands covering their ears. Everyone was just shocked. Well, everyone besides Aizawa, since I basically told him before that I could use All Might's quirk. Too much? But you did ask for this. Bakugo. Ha 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 ha. Me. What's so funny? Bakugo. You damn quirkless fucking bitch. Me. Before I knew it, Bakugo was running at me and I knew that I could have dodged it or even injured him, but before he could even come close to me, Aizawa had him wrapped up and began dragging him a little bit away from me. I bowed before the class before going to each and every one and helped them get back up. Once everyone was back up, everyone began telling me how cool I was for not using my quirk and how cool I was to not focus on my quirk and don't ally on it as much. They made it sound as if I was some kind of idol to them. For me, it was funny how the class attitude changed in an instant, but who was I to complain? I wanted to make them all my friends, and this was a good step towards it. It was once again a new task that we should do, and this time we had to do a 50-meter dash. Aizawa. Can I get your attention again? Next up is the 50-meter dash. Each student must run 50 meters straight while using their quirks to improve their mobility. I will record the time. There was only one thing I wanted to do, and that was refusing to use my quirk since I only wanted to use it as a last resort, but today was different. I knew who my partner was in this exercise, and this was how I began powering up Ofa. Aizawa. Izuku. Bakugo, your turns. We both began walking towards the line where we would start running. The green lightnings were covering my whole body. This was now my time to show them what it meant to have a quirk and how it could be used effective. You want to eat dirt, dandelion? Bakugo. Good luck in your next life, nerd. Me. Oh, you sure you don't want to eat your words? Bakugo. You shitty. Me what? Deku? Didn't I already told you that I was a bunny and you should call me Usagi? Bakugo. As if. Me I guess we have a problem then. Once we arrived, we quickly stretched for a little bit and began to go down and get ready. Oh, this is it. I know that you want to use your blast on me, but guess what? It won't affect someone that is already at the other side. I began spacing out, which was clearly visible since Bakugo and Aizawa called out to me, and only by the third time I responded back. My mind was already gone, and I started thinking about a couple of ways to make Bakugo eat his own dust or my dust or his explosive. Aizawa. Midoriya. Me, Aizawa. I was calling your name. You are spacing out. Me. Oh, sorry. Aizawa. Is something wrong? Me. No, not really. Aizawa. Okay, then get ready. A quick nod from me made him continue directing us. Aizawa. On my mark, I went low to the ground ready to run and use my quirk. Aizawa. Ready, set, go. Once I heard go, I powered up Ofa a little bit more and ran through the 50-meter dash and jumped as well as turned around and sided in order to stop. I was fast and I knew it. Aizawa. 0.42 seconds. Me sounds good. Aizawa. 1.1 seongs. Bakugo. The fuck you were doing? Aizawa just told Bakugo his time as the dandelion started walking over to me and immediately grabbed me by my collar. I knew there were a lot of people around and I also felt very confident in my skills. This was why I just jumped at his arm and throw him off guard down to the ground as well as had him in a spot where I could easily dislocate his arm. Aizawa. Midoriya. The moment I heard Aizawa, I went away from him and let him alone. He started, I only defended. Aizawa. Sai, is anyone injured out of you two? Me, no. Bakugo. The fuck? You think this piece of shit can actually injure me? Me. Cough, I broke your nose once, cough. Bakugo, you've been fucking lucky. Me, should I demonstrate you how I did that again? Oh, believe me, I would do it. Now come on. I dare you. Just say the magic words and I'll do it. Aizawa. You will not do anything like this, problem child. Me, fine. We then went ahead and did the rest of the test. Needless to say, that I aced every single one, especially the long-term run. I could run as long as I wanted. My stamina was really good since I was running 3 kilometers in the morning and then again at the evening. So at least I didn't break any bones this time. I haven't noticed it, but looks like I really do have the control over my quirk, even if this is probably the second time I used it or third. Anyways, looks like I didn't lose my control over it. I wonder if it is only the feeling that I am familiar with while using it. The sidestepping wasn't a problem either, and the rest of the test was just simple if I used my quirk or just bothersome if I didn't, but I would rather go with bothersome than to use Ofa. It was a part of me, but I still only wanted it as a backup. Once we were done with the test, I started to bond with my class a little bit more, especially with Shoto, Ida, and Uraraka. First of Uraraka's quirk is really a nice one, and I wanted to be good friend with her in case I need someone with an anti-gravity quirk. Tenya was fast, which we would need at the USJ. Shoto was a different story. I wanted to help him since I knew what it meant to be a Todoroki from Dabi. His father was a monster and no one could tell me different. So, I began talking with Shoto about how to get rid of his father without dirtying one's hands. It was fun and I could tell that he was also getting close to me. After I befriended them, I also saw a dark shadow and gave the quirk pats on its head and sometimes even scratch her beneath her head. She loved attention and Tokoyami never gave her enough. Why do I feel like me and Shoto will have so much fun once we go against his father? I do wonder if I will be able to find the LOV. I do hope they are not villains. If they are, then I'll be there. Shoto, I know you need your brother, so please be patient until I find him. He also needs you. I also helped a lot of the other ones to deal and control their quirk a lot better. This was how I managed to bond with my class pretty much, and at the end of the week I knew that this class was different than mine. After we were officially in UA, nothing new or special happened at all. This time I was not framed as a traitor yet, and I was sure that Uraraka and Mina were not spies in this world. There was this villain versus hero exercise where Nezu told me to come to him and spend my time with him instead. So, in the end, I couldn't polish the floor with the dandelion's face. For some reason, I had a feeling that Nezu knew that if he had let me go against Bakugo, that something might have happened to him and the reputation of the school, since I did tell him about my past with him. He in return told me a little bit about himself, or it was more like me starting to state facts about his past. At this point, I made him wary about me. There was no chance he didn't think about me as a threat or that I was not intriguing at all. There was also the fact that I could end UA's as well as Nezu's career with just what I knew. For once I had the upper hand and had enough blackmail material for years. I knew about him and I knew about the foundation he was in. They were cruel and I knew that the scar he had was because of all the experience he was involved with. It was a reminder what he survived. A couple of weeks after that we had a security breach. However, I knew exactly who it was and it was not the media. So the LOV does exist. If I want them to listen to me, I'll need to be more vigilant and more dangerous than them. I will need to be a threat big enough for them to recognize me and not ignore me, but I want to be a hero. This was how I was waiting for the USJ attack and never informed anyone about it. Not long after the security breach, the field trip arrived and I was excited. I knew that my plans were probably stupid, but I still wanted to give the LOV a chance in life. One where they could choose if they wanted to remain in the darkness and as villains. Time skip brought to you by Izuku staying focused and having one goal in mind while waiting for the USJ event. I was standing in front of the USJ building looking at it and knowing what would happen. It was a moment of excitement. My heart was beating very fast and I was unsure if I would succeed, but I wanted to prevent Aizawa to get hurt or any other one. This meant I needed to be fast. I only had a little bit of time, but it was enough, or so I was sure that it should have been. Uraraka, you seem kinda tense. Aizu. Me. Oh, I am just so exited. Uraraka. I understand you completely. I mean, we will be meeting 13. Me. Hi, you really are a big fan of her. Uraraka. Totally. We then went inside and the moment I heard them start explaining why we were here, I immediately powered up Ofa and started running at a point with no one there. This could either be very awkward since there wouldn't be anything, or I was right and I would manage to do what I wanted to do. This was how I started dashing at nothing. Denki. Look, they even have fake villains. It was at that moment that I saw Shigaraki come out of a portal and tackled him back inside. This made me vanish into the portal with him. We both landed on the floor and I immediately jumped away knowing his quirk all too well. Shigaraki. The heck? You damn NPC. Me, you are wrong, big boss. I am a titan, Shigaraki. You mean a dumb NPC?
Me? No.
I know everything about you and the LOV as well as All For One, which is your sensei. The moment I said that I had his and Kurogiri's attention. Shigaraki. How do you know about us? Me, oh please. You think you are the only one wanting to get rid of All Might? But there is no point to that. He doesn't have one for all anymore. I have it. Kurogiri. Why would you tell us about this? Me, maybe because I know about the Nomu you prepared to kill All Might. Shigaraki. A titan, you said? I only see a glitch. How do you even know about this? Me, I have my way. Now shall we have a talk? Shigaraki. Why would we listen to you? Me, how about I know where this bar is and how to get you, your master and your puppy over there in a cell in Tartarus? Shigaraki. I don't believe you. Me. Do you really want to end this game this soon? It will be game over for you. Shigaraki. TSK. I am not losing this fast. Me, Thotsu. Kurogiri. What do you want to talk about? Me. I know that you guys didn't had a chance in life. No one ever gave you the chance. This is why you are all villains. I am here to give you a chance. You might think I am not a threat to you, but let me tell you. I know more about you or any other person. Shigaraki. Who do you think you are? Me. Izuku Midoriya, otherwise known as Usagi. I let out my deadly aura that was similar but worse than Stain's and bowed in front of him, while also making a nice Cheshire smile that could freeze one's blood. They looked at me and I could even see them take a step backwards. Looks like I made my point here. Let's see if this is enough though. I really don't want them to go after my class or do anything they will regret. For now, no one knows about them besides me. I could even make Nezu help me out. He knows after all how much I knew about him. I could threaten the rat after all. By now, I was certain that they were wary about me. Information and knowledge was power after all. Not only that, but I wasn't only intelligent but also powerful. I had Ofa and my daggers with me. This was how I took my daggers out and started to play with them as if I was a villain. I knew that I needed to act in order to let them know that I could be one of them as easily as Toga or Dabi could. Shigaraki. What do you want? Me. Did I said that already? I want you guys to reconsider being evil. What is that you desire? Shigaraki. I want All Might dead. Me. And then? What purpose will this have? Shigaraki. I will be ruling over the world. Me. Ruling over the world with fear? Is this what you want? If so, why not use a different method? Be the one behind the scene that is responsible for everything. Though I can tell you that I would be the one stopping you from achieving this. It is not something to want and it is not your place. The moment I said that, the phone started ringing and Kurogiri picked it up. Not soon after he picked it up, he came back to me. Kurogiri. Sensei wanna meet you. Me. Then let's don't make him wait. Shall we? Kurogiri made a portal and the moment I stepped through it, I erased my presence and started dashing at the man with both daggers in my hand. He was different than every single one of the opponents I ever faced. However, the moment I started running, I was not using Ofa but relied on my own skill. AFO immediately saw me and used his original quirk as well as others to stop me. The blades he made appear in the air and shot at me were no use as I managed to simply dodge every single one and made my way to him. I then threw one of my dagger and the other ones too. Both had the same trajectory. One was hidden behind the other one. The moment he managed to stop one of them, the other one was already there and hit him in his shoulder. I took this as an opportunity to pick up one of his knives and went behind the man, placing a knife at his throat. Me, game over, as Tamura would say. I then dropped the knife and went in front of him. By now I knew he knew how dangerous I was. F.O. What a brilliant display of strength. However, may I ask why you decided to attack me? Me. As you said, it was a display of my strength and skill. I wanted you to know that I am not a person that should be underestimated. F.O. I see. I surely won't make that mistake. Me, I am sure of that. Now shall we move on to business? F.O. What is it that you desire? I can get you anything if you chose to be one of us. Me, I have no intention of becoming a villain. My place is somewhere else. Though I swore to myself to save you and the LOV. F.O. Ha 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 ha, save us? Me, yes. You guys never had a second chance, especially Tamura. I want them to know how it feels like not being a villain but loved and having a family. I know how the LOV works and I know about the Nomus. AFO. Who are you? Me. I am sorry for my rudeness. I am Izuku Midoriya, also known as Usagi. AFO, Usagi, you say. Sounds like a fine villain name. Me, which is the origin of the name I chose, but that is not important right now. FO, oh, it is. If you still desire to be one, I can make you the #1 villain. By hearing this, I let out my deadly aura and smiled at him with a Cheshire smile. I also placed my hands in front of my face so that my fingertips were touching. Me. I am sure I can accomplish that on my own. Besides, I am not interested on becoming the #1 villain. I want to be the #1 hero, AFO. And by this you want to give us a second chance. Me, yes. Don't you want to get healed properly, or for Kurogiri to be returned to his friends again, or even Tamura to know what it feels to have a family? FO, you know awfully a lot about us. Me, I do. You want to challenge me? FO, I would rather not. Me. Then what is your answer? AFO, I knew that there was only one way he could answer since I just showed him how easily I could kill him and get rid of him without even using my quirk. I was also sure that he was listening on Kurogiri, Shigaraki, and myself a little bit prior. This meant he knew that I had OFA. The sheer thought that he tried to recruit me was showing how much he was scared of me, that he would do basically anything and offer me anything to stay with them. Too bad that I didn't had any desired for that. AFO, we will accept your second chance. Me, great. It was only now that I let go of my aura and smiled at him with a warm smile. Since the discussion was over, I turned around and looked at Kurogiri. Me, get us back to the bar. He looked at me and then at AFO, unsure of what to do. AFO, you heard him, and make sure no one treats him badly or the consequences might be severe. I am sure I won't be the one needing to punish you. Me, that is right. I will be doing that. Just like that, Kurogiri obeyed and sent us all back. Once we were back at the lair, I went to the bar and sat down on a nearby chair, thinking about where Toga as well as Dabi would be. I knew that the others of the LOV are safe, but these two had experienced way too much. Kurogiri. What now? Shigaraki. Ask the glitch over there. Me. I am not a glitch but a titan and a bunny at that. Shigaraki. A glitch is a glitch. Me. Tell me, if you had a second chance, what would you want to be? Kurogiri. A bar owner. Me. Sounds like you. You also know a lot about drinks, don't you? Kurogiri, yes. Me, what about you, Shiggy? Shigaraki. Shiggy? Me, yep, the German Pokemon name for Squirtle. Shigaraki. Do I fucking look like a turtle to you? Me, no, but you kinda do remind me of it. Either I call you that or Fairy or by your name Tenko. Shigaraki. Shiggy is good. Me, great. Now then. I'll be out for a little bit and you go and think about how you would want to change your future. I stood up from the chair and went to his side and gave him a quick hug and a pat on his shoulder before I went out without even telling anyone where I was going. There was a Rasan for that, since I was about to hunt down a hero killer. Yep, I was about to hunt down Stain. I knew he was around this part of the town since they basically asked him to be part of them. So, this meant that I could find his followers close by too when I found him. This was how I started, was running from roof to roof still in my hero costume until I found Stain. Me, good evening. The moment I jumped on the same roof, I greeted him and he immediately turned around since I didn't make any noise nor did I have a presence since I was concealing it. Stain, who are you, kid? Me, a hero in training and not a threat to you. Stain, a hero in training you say? Why are you here? Are you here to end my wrongdoing? Me, quite the opposite. I am here because I am in search for 2 of your followers. Stain, that is new. Me, their names are Dabi and Toga. I want to give them a second chance and get them a home and a place to stay. Stain, why would you do that? Me, because everyone deserves a second chance and villains are not born but made. A lot of them were even forced to be won by this society or heroes like Dabi. Stain, I see you have your heart at the right place. Me, thank you. Now do you know where I could find them? Stain, try looking at me. Thank you. Just like that I turned around and was about to leave if not for the fact that I felt his movement and immediately dodged it. It wasn't pure coincidence. He started fighting with me and as he was swinging his katana I took out my daggers and both blades hit each other. Me, bold of you to attack me. Stain, me, testing my ability, I at first only started blocking until our fight started to heat up and all of a sudden I changed the tempo of our fight and threw him off guard with it. After that I simply dodged to the side, kicked his weapon out of his hand, threw him on the ground since I just swooped him of the ground before pointing my 2 daggers at his neck. It was at that point that I also had the aura he would normally use around myself and made him freeze up. Me, you lost hero killer. It went way too fast for him and all he could do was blink. I then stood up and helped him up too. Not to mention that I went ahead and picked his sword up. Me, here you go. If you excuse myself now, I need to find 2 people. Stain, I'll be going with you. Me, Stain. You are a true hero and I will stand a point telling everyone not to hurt you. Me. Aw, thank you. I gave him a smile as warm as the sun and then we both began running and jumping from roof to roof until we went to the abandoned building. It was as he said and we found Toga and Dabi there.
Toga. Dabs.
Look at Stain. Dabi, why are you here? Stain. I am here because I am escorting this hero. Me? I am Izuku Midoriya or also known as Usagi. Stain, I will not let you harm him. He is a true hero. Me, thanks, but you do know that I don't need a protector. Stain, I realize that from our fight, but I'll be still here for you. Me, sigh, what have I done? Me, anyways, Toga, Dabi, I am here because I wanted to give you guys a new life or otherwise known as a second chance. Toga, I want to give you a life where you can make a lot of different friends as well as have a place to be where everyone is accepting you. Toga, you would do something like this? Me, yes, and as for you, Dabi, Shoto needs you and you need him. I want to get you guys together again. Of course, I will not let you get back to the trash bag of a father. There are also 2 other people that would be like your family. Dabi, where is the catch?
Me, no catch.
Dabi, you can't tell me you are doing this for us? Me, I am. Dabi, and we don't have to do anything? Me, nothing. Just like that, we all returned to the LOV except Stain. He told me he would watch over me in the night just in case someone wanted to attack or get rid of me. I had his full loyalty after I managed to beat him in a fight and used the same aura at him too. This was how I made the LOV a nice family. I spent a month with them making them realize how similar they all were and after a month they all felt and acted as a family. I could tell how much they enjoyed being together. Third POV, Nezu. A month has already passed and we still don't know where he is? There was a huge conference with the UA staff. Nezu was the only one fearing what Izuku might reveal. He knew it firsthand what the kid knew. It was enough for anyone to go against him and made them win. Heck, he was even sure if the kid wanted it to be her could be a villain that no one could put down. He after all told him story about his civil war and his success so far.
Aizawa. No.
Midnight. I don't understand why would they not return or even ask for any demands. They might be interested in his quirk. Recovery girl. Maybe even used as an experience. Nezu, he is very intelligent. There is no doubt in my mind that he could and would have escaped by now if there is not something he needed to do. Aizawa. What do you mean? With that, Nezu told them about what Izuku told him. He told them everything about parallel dimensions and how Izuku came to them as well as the Civil War game. Hound dog. There is a reason we don't do this anymore. Aizawa. I agree. Vlad King. Poor kids. Nezu. Not only that, but he told me that in his world there were also traitors in UA and we did a poor job and broke his spirit. This was the moment Nezu told them about how they apparently found his notebooks and accused him of being a traitor as well as treated him very bad as well as broke him completely. He, however, Aslo told them that everything was a mistake and that it was too late for the kid. All Might, I can't believe we did that. Aizawa. That explains his behavior the moment I found him. Nezu, it does. Now then, shall we go on? After that, the heroes started to discuss all the possibilities of hiding places again and why Izuku might not have escaped by now. There was no questioning of his skill after everyone heard what he knew. Not only that, but it was so unbelievable that a couple of heroes that didn't know Izuku that good would cast that as a filler-up for his lost memories. Though Aizawa and All Might knew it better. It was the way he moved and knew a lot about the exercises as if he had done them once already. Meanwhile, Class 1A was getting more depressed with each passing second. Even the sport festival went on without Izuku being there. They couldn't understand why their classmate sacrificed himself for them. However, they knew that thanks to Izuku nothing bad happened to them. Uraraka. I can't believe we still haven't found them. Su. I am sure he is okay. Ribbit. Bakugo. That bunny is not going down this easily. Kirishima. Bunny? This is the first time I hear you call him that besides Deku bro. Ida, Usagi is his hero name after all. He should be using that. Denki. Does anyone else feel like Usagi could be the name of a villain? Mina. No, but it sounds so cool. Zero. I am wondering what they are doing to him? Su. Maybe some experiments? Ribbit. Momo. Stop thinking like that, everyone. We will find him and he will be okay. We can help him get back to his original self. Shoto. I heard from Endeavor that they haven't found any lead yet. How do you think we should do that? Ida. My brother also is looking for him and told me the same. Bakugo. That fucking doesn't stop me from looking for him. Now since he made such a bond with his class, they all went on a search for him in their free time. Aizawa did tell them not to do that, but in the end he and the UA staff as well as a couple more heroes were sent to search for Izuku but with no new information about his whereabouts. Meanwhile, with the LOV, Izuku built up a family bond with every single LOV member up to the point that they started discussing behind his back how to get him back. AFO. I have called you all here for us to talk about Usagi's fate. Shigaraki. Bunny can take care of himself. Toga. He is so cool and strong like a big brother. Dabi. But he is a hero. He shouldn't be with us. Kurojairi. But he is willingly doing this. AFO. He stated the first time we meet that he wanted to give you all a second chance and he wished for us not to be heroes. I want to hear your opinion on it. Toga. I want to give it a chance. He did give us a home and a family dabs. He fulfilled that promise. Dabi. I know Toga. Shigaraki, he understands us. Kurojairi. We need to bring him back. Dabi. I agree. AFO. I assume we are all on the same page. Just like that, the LOV began discussing a plan on how they could make the hero find Izuku and how they could also escape without anyone knowing who did anything to Izuku. By now Izuku was wearing some black and red suit. He looked like a villain and not like a hero anymore. Not only that, but the connection he made with the LOV and Stain was one in a kind too. They didn't know how Izuku would react, but they hoped that they could bring the moon that illuminates the night back to the other side and change it to the sun illuminating the sky. I was with the LOV and for some reason they wanted me to dress up in my hero suit. What I did, but it had some blood on it. Me. Can someone please explain why my hero suit has some blood? Toga. Oh, but blood looks so good on you. I thought I might make it a little bit better. Me sigh. Of course, you and your crazy blood lust. Kurojairi. Aizu. I need your opinion on our basement. Me, basement? Wait, are we seriously making a gamer basement? I thought we already had this discussion. Shiggy. Yeah, no, we are getting it. Me, Shiggy. No stealing. Besides, Kurojairi, don't you have a job to be in right now? Kurojairi. Yes, and could we please make this Quirk? Me, fine. I went with him to the basement, but the moment we were down, I heard the door lock behind me and Kurojairi vanished. Me, what the heck, guys? Now something began to click. I was wearing my hero outfit and they all were wearing their villain except Kurojairi and I just walked into a trap from them. You can't be serious. They really are gonna return me back and play the villains? You can't get rid of me that easily. I walked up the stair and tried to open the door at first but then decided to kick it down. However, before I could do anything, I hear All Might's voice. All Might? Pizza service. Seriously? This again? Wait, but that means they lead them here. Are they really gonna abandon their home for me? I feel bad now. Me? All Might. I step back from the door and decide to go back down and wait for them. The moment the door was busted open and All Might, including Aizawa, came in. All Might. My boy, are you alright? Me, yeah. Aizawa. Did they do anything to you? Me, no. I was just put in here. All Might. Do you know where they are?
Me? No.
All lies. You really think I would tell you about them? About the family I build up? No.
Heck no.
You could even kill me and I would never tell you. They brought me back to UA and Recovery Girl immediately checked me up. Since I was good and they couldn't understand why I was so bloodied, they just let me go. The blood was apparently something Toga put on and made a new artwork project of the basement. After I spent a couple of hours with Recovery Girl, I specifically asked to see Nezu and they let me do this. Me, Nezu, we need to talk. Nezu. Oh my. Is this fake blood? Me, probably, since it is not mine. Nezu. It doesn't smell like animal or human blood either. Me, good, at least I don't need to scold them. Nezu, them? You know the villains that held you captive. Me, yes. That is the reason I came here. First of all, I was never held captive but chose to be with them in order to get them back on track and not let them succumb to darkness further. Nezu. Is this the ones you said you wanted to save? Me, yes, and this is why I am here. Nezu. What do you need? Me, a bar for one of them. He is a great bartender and I am sure that he can do a great business and lead it to success. A house where the Todorokis can live in normal and away from their father. 3 of the people I saved don't have a home and I would like them to be able to attend any classes in UA. They deserve another chance. I will also ask my mother if she would be willing to adopt 2 of them. Nezu. That are quite the demands you have there. Me? I can also release everything about you SCP-0042. It is either you manage to perform your duty as a pro hero and as a principal, or I would gladly reveal a couple of information about every single UA staff. Would that be better? Nezu. I will see what I can do. Me. Thank you. I am sure this won't be a hard task for you and your blackmail stuff. After that was done, I was sent home and my mom immediately cried upon seeing me and hugged me. Hey, Mom. Can I ask you for a favor? Mom. Anything for you, Bunny. Me. I meet 4 other people while I was held captured. They don't have a family anymore. Can they stay with us? Mom. Of course they can. Just like that, I hunted every single LOV member down and brought them to my mom, including AFO. She accepted them all and she and AFO became good friends. I also told Dabi, Toga, and Shigaraki about UA and that if they wanted they could attempt it, which they all accepted. I also made sure Dabi and Shoto would meet and stay together from now on. I told Dabi he could choose if he wanted to stay with me and my mom or his brother. More like I gave him the option to come to my family and stay over anytime he wanted. This was how I succeeded my mission and changed the fate of the LOV. I would say mission accomplished. Thankfully, they accepted my offer. I am so happy to see them happy again. Not to mention that I didn't need to fight with a Nomu or even deal with traitors. This universe is really better than mine. I am happy I got the chance to live here, though if I had the chance to jump again knowing that I would end up here, I would do it immediately. There was never a chance that I could win the fight or even change the LOV's fate in my world, but in this world, everything was open to me. Even Bakugo changed. What a world and what an adventure I had. The end. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the story. Let me know your feedback in the comments and tell me when I should release the next part. Until then, peace.